What up? It's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you tuned in to World Combat Sports.
Hello, once again. Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. What's good? Happy Sunday to each and every one of you. Damn, it was just several days. We was talking about fight week, on the horizon and everything. Now that it happened, I think wholeheartedly, and salute to the WCS supporters and everyone that's in the building. Appreciate you. Salute. Good looking out. Tell a friend, share the content, hit the like button, of course. And if you choose to donate to the channel, it's much appreciated, right? Man, I'm not gonna lie. I think this was one of the most strangest, more awkward, ominous fight Saturdays I've witnessed in a while. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of crazy shit going on across the spectrum when it comes down to it. I mean, I was hearing certain things, man. I was covering the Triller fight card, right? And shout out to Dion, man. Dion was keeping me up to date, on a lot of fights that was popping off, man, the results and everything. And because I was actually, tied up and doing some other stuff. It was a full night of entertainment, so it was a lot to deal with, especially me doing it on my own. But I want to give a shout out to Dion Nicholson, man. We still support you out here, Warrior. You know what I'm saying? It's not too many boxers that stay undefeated during their career, but the ones who do, they're able to get that accomplished. You know what I'm saying? But I want to give a shout out to him because he's in a warrior sport, and he himself is a warrior. You might have went in there and then get the victory yesterday, but everyone who knows you're a warrior, you're a dog. You know what I'm saying? And this is a tough sport, especially when you fighting up there, the cruiserweights and the heavyweights or whatever. I'm not making excuses. You know what I'm saying? But you went in there and put your entire effort into it, gave it 150% in training, mentally you was there. You just wasn't able to get the victory, man. But I salute you, my brother. You'll be back even better and stronger. And we'll look for the next time you step in the square. That's what it is. Man, it's such a big buzz going around. Well, man, it's such a big buzz going around with this Jake Paul Ben Askren knockout. But first, I want to kind of start from the bottom of the card of what was going on at Triller. I want to start with Frank Mir and Steve Cunningham. Frank Mir was a multi-time world champion in mixed martial arts. Very big dude, man. A BJJ astute on the ground, but he wanted to come over to the boxing arena and lock up with former world champ Steve Cunningham. And Steve Cunningham, even though he was in a better shape, it proved in the fight, in my opinion, that his punches at no way, shape, or form affected Frank Mir. You know what I'm saying? I know both of them have had their hiatuses, their vacations out the ring. But even with looking at the open workouts, I say Steve Cunningham, man, he looks much better, looks sharper and stuff like that, right? And then Frank Mir, in my opinion, looked a little like cardio wasn't going to be his friend going 6 rounds with Cunningham. But he lasted 6 rounds. It just goes to show you the experience of these damn pugilists, man. He paced himself well while trying to get in close on Cunningham and land some solid shots. He had better cardio than I thought. And I don't think it was so much the cardio. I think it was his how intelligent he was to pick and choose his shots and went to close distance on Cunningham, who was much lighter on his feet and moving around. But ultimately, once again, Frank Mir outweighed Cunningham by several. I mean, he had to outweigh him by like 45, 50 pounds. And he still went in there and fought the fight. He still went in there and did what he had to do, man. He boxed him. He boxed him. Touched him up real nice. Still proved that he had the edge in boxing. Frank Mir was the much slower fighter, but Frank Mir was smart to pick and choose and make sure when that appointment is there for him to land a shot, he takes full advantage of it. A lot of people just count, these MMA fighters out as if they cannot have any inclination on how to throw a punch. What's going on, D Hodges? What's good? Salute to you, my brother. But looking at this fight right here, you had two experienced fighters, one outweighing the other. Mir outweighing Cunningham. It was just one of those matchups that they both had to be smart. Damn right Cunningham was tying Frank Mir up on the inside. Of course. You don't want no big dude like that land on you, and then he's able to get off one of those power shots on the inside. I mean, Cunningham has people he has to answer to. Also, he has people that was in his ear before he stepped in the ring with Mir too. He said, "Man, don't go in there and let that dude knock you out. You represent boxing, man. You represent boxing. Even though you haven't been in the ring, it's people that he trained and it's people that's around him to say, hey, man, don't let that dude give you anything. You go in there and prove that boxing is still a step above mixed martial arts and it's square." And that's what he did. A lot of people might not consider that as entertaining, but I watched the whole fight up close, and it was a solid fight in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Frank Mir was trying his best to get in close, and then when he tried to 1-2 and sit down on it, Cunningham was just too fast. He was too elusive. I mean, Steve Cunningham was just too elusive. You know what I'm saying? He was able to avoid the shot, slip him, and quite easily, to be honest. But it was a good fight, though, man. I got some crazy shit to talk about because I know, people listen to that broadcast. Those of you that's tuned in to the broadcast, man, bear with me, dog. Bear with me. I ain't lay it down like 3:30, 4 o'clock. Shit. Bear with me. But check this out. This COVID shit right here, it really puts you in a whole different jungle, man, when you out here searching and fishing for interviews, so to speak. And some of the people that you see, you say, oh shit, there goes so and so right there. But it's COVID restrictions, right? And some of them really don't want to. Oh man, some of them just don't want to give you an interview. But I got to give a shout out to Franchon Cruz-Azern. She's the first one I was able to pick up there. Her and her husband Glenn was on deck. Always a professional, man. Cruz-Azern, always a professional. I have much respect for both of them. You know what I'm saying? She gave me an interview, no mask on, no nothing. Didn't trip, didn't do shit, but give me an interview. If you're watching, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, being the professional that you are. Salute to you. Everybody doesn't have to damn act like it's crazy. And this is why I'm saying this, people, because I took a COVID test last week. This shit was negative. And say what you want. I don't always walk around with a mask. Say what you want. I've been in rough areas in the world, in my opinion, that could have gave me something a lot worse. I had to take a COVID test walking up in there, and Mercedes-Benz Stadium yesterday. The cover the fight card came back negative. I had the results. So when you end up finding the people in here, you fishing for an interview, man. Those people intend to take it a little bit to the extreme, because first of all, if we have to take the COVID test and be negative to get up in there, that's everybody. we shouldn't have to wear a mask up in the damn area. You know what I'm saying? Like it was enclosed. I mean, the roof was closed up, but I'm just saying, like, if all the 200 people that was up in there, what was more than that, but if they had to take a COVID test to get up, and I'm pretty sure Ric Flair didn't take no motherfucking COVID test. Woo! And I tell you like this, it's no one like the Nature Boy. Ric Flair was goddamn walking around, man. I just couldn't get to him, dog. But anyway, some of the people you seen walking around in the hotel, man, you couldn't get close to them because some of them had this COVID interest pinned in front of them. You know, yeah, I was able to see Oscar, but I couldn't get an interview with Oscar because he had people with him, and his people want to talk about COVID. This is my only thing. Those of you that watched the telecast, listen to the telecast yesterday. Them dudes was having some fun up there on that motherfucking microphone. I mean, that shit was hilarious, man. Oscar was fucked up, dog. I mean, look, I think I smelled the shit Snoop was goddamn smoking. For real. I probably went down closer to the motherfucking floor and inhale a little bit. Seriously, dog. I mean, dude, they was going in on the mic. Oscar was going in. It was hilarious, man. I mean, this dude was hilarious. Snoop was doing what Snoop Deal Double G do. But when it comes down to it, like they wasn't wearing they wasn't wearing the mask up there talking on the panel. They were just doing what they do, shouty. I know a lot of people was hitting me up talking about, God damn, man. They just talking too much, and some of the people was sitting up here saying certain things. If you're not used to that type of banter, right? Or people just shooting the shit, because that's what they was doing. They was shooting the shit. They was talking, they was shooting the shit while they was covering the fight. And then in the interim, they was probably, goddamn hitting that shit. That's probably what was going on. So of course their energy is gonna be a bit more reckless. And they're gonna talk about some shit without any type of reservation to it. They just gonna be damn open-ended. It's gonna be a garrulous time, that you're gonna hear them just being boisterous about a lot of shit. And people was complaining about Oscar De La Hoya, but I'm gonna be honest, that's just like the most fun I ever seen Oscar De La Hoya participate in. That shit was hilarious. Some of this stuff he was saying, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. That shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious, dog. It just didn't make any sense for people to frown upon it because that's the way Triller do their shit. Hold on for a second. All right. So tell me this. Of what you see with the Triller format and how they go up there and do their thing. She was good. Salute to you, my brother. What's good? Do you have a problem with their format? And how they set everything up, how they be talking shit. and everything, giving you a different type of entertainment value. You know what I'm saying? Me, I really don't see a problem with them talking shit on the mic because that's their setup. The type of fights that they're bringing, they're not full pledged athletes like that. Some are, some aren't. So you got to take in considerations for the entertainment value and the comedy aspect, you know, to give them a more informal side to what we used to seeing with broadcasting. And the reason why I say you shouldn't take too much um, of an argument with it is because Al Bernstein was in the building, the legendary Al Bernstein. If Al Bernstein is willing to hold a position and let his voice be heard on the Triller fight card, then not too many people should sit up here and take it serious if a person like him chose to be there too. He chose to be there too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He was there. He was taking in everything. Al probably, I know he smelled what Snoop was smoking. Shit. Al probably was up there just feeling a little type of way. He just didn't want to let his guard down though. He was probably like, God damn, Snoop. I want to tell you I'm fucked up, but the goddamn camera's still rolling, dog. You should have told me you was bringing this shit. Al probably told that man, like, damn, that's some strong ass gas that you got right there. Jesus. But anyway, getting back to it, I know a lot of people was up here pretty much talking about, shout out to Joe Fournier for getting that win. He pretty much carried Raycon, a couple of rounds. I believe he could have stopped him early, but he was a good sportsman about it. But the big topic at hand is the Ben Askren situation. His knockout from Jake Paul. Jake Paul was able to knock out a legitimate fighter, a professional fighter now. You know what I'm saying? A fighter like Ben Askren, who is 19-2 in his mixed martial arts career. Ben Askren, in no way, shape, or form, is a slouch when it comes to mixed martial arts, right? But on this night, with the boxing gloves on, you can pretty much tell that moving around in the ring is much different than mid training. All right, we've seen that. That's where the pluses and minuses come into full effect when we're talking about boxing and MMA. Mixed martial artists move around the cage and keep distance and use their footwork differently than the way boxers do. You saw it with Jake Paul. The way Jake Paul was moving with his hands and feet, and the way freaking Ben Askren was moving. Ben Askren was moving more so. If he had to change levels and get a takedown, he could. It wasn't an abundance of movement from Ben Askren. Like if you look at it, his hands wasn't really moving. He just had his hands up to pretty much, have a guard to protect him from if Jake Paul landed that right hand. Because Jake Paul was committed to that right hand early in that fight, even though it didn't last that long. I think the one that he hit him with was probably like the third time he landed it. But Ben Askren, he was so stiff. He was moving around, scooting. He wasn't really fluent. But if you really was to look at it, he probably was fluent in his own way. He said, "That's where I'm used to moving. I'm getting punched in the head. There's no clinching and going for a single double and taking them down. So I have to be very careful." And he proved that it's a separation between boxing training and boxing in the ring and mixed martial arts training and fighting in a cage. It's an absolute difference. And Ben Askren, he looked robotic in there early. I thought, from his mid work and everything, he would be a bit more fluent. Being that he is one of those mixed martial arts that came over to the UFC 18-0. Hey, I thought he'd have better movement just because of the level that he's fought on. But put it this way, Jake Paul dug deep I mean, I'm talking about he dug deep in a way that he grabbed every hammer in the shed when he unleashed that right hand on Ben Askren the first time and missed, and then he did it a second time. The congratulatory comment that I give Jake Paul is when he was throwing it, it looked like it was in solid distance. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't wait till Ben Askren just moved just a little bit slightly and overreact. He actually tried to catch him off guard with that right hand twice. The second one impressed me that Ben was able to slip underneath it. And I was like, damn, okay, he saw it. He did fairly well. But it somehow he became complacent. I'm not sure, was it his moment with freaking Ben Askren's bodyguard Shadow, passing away. I don't know. But in my opinion, for Ben Askren, you avoided two right hands already. Pretty good. I've seen you step in the cage with Robbie Lawler and take punishment. Robbie Lawler is a known heavy hitter. Robbie Lawler's been in this with some of the best names in mixed martial arts with 4-ounce gloves. I've seen you take more punishment than what Jake Paul gave to you. And no one's going to convince me that Jake Paul hits harder than Robbie Lawler. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, damn. We've seen him, but once again, this is the deal that I have an issue with. He gets hit, and he just like stiffens up, like, come on, man. I've seen you get hit with harder shots. I'm just generalizing, and he goes down, and he gets back up. But the way he went down is almost like the way Jorge Masvidal landed the knee and stiffened him up. Jorge landed that knee, that was legit. That was legit. But I'm looking at, Jake Paul landing that right. I'm like, I don't know, man. But anyway, he got up. He was looking the way Ben Askren looks, and the referee didn't see fit to go on. I'm like, this is the main event. Do you see what time it is on the clock? Do you see how late it is? Why stop the fight? Allow this man to continue like you did all the other fights. And this leads, man, come on. You saw how I skipped over Regis and Ivan Redkach, right? Because I want to give an example. That referee was willing to give Ivan Redkach all the time in the world to get up without stopping the fight. But Ben Askren, the main event, he sits up there and gets touched. A guy who's been on the high level, and all of a sudden, the referee want to call the fight off to him. He looked discombobulated, dizzy, confused, and all this other shit. And not only that, it's a video circulating around, right? Hold on for a second. Let me see. It's a video circulating around that shows Ben Askren walking with his wife, and they're smiling and laughing, headed back to the dressing room or whatever the case. Daniel Cormier, this is the only reason I'm bringing it up. Daniel Cormier was pretty much saying like, damn, dude, you're looking crazy out here because, you get knocked out, but yet you're up here smiling and joking around with your wife as if nothing happened. So it seems like he was insinuating that he wasn't seriously hurt, like he was putting on. He was just putting on for the crowd. So when it came down to it, we have certain people out here just dogging Ben Askren out for being a quitter. I don't see Ben Askren as nowhere short of being a quitter, and I don't think he fixed the fight. But I do believe that he could have put forth a lot more effort than he did, having been in there with top level opposition that's much better and hit harder than Jake Paul. That's just my opinion. It could have did, He could have provided more for the crowd. I mean, it was very, very early in the AM of the next day, this Sunday. And I just thought he could have put forth a better effort. Seriously. But Jake Paul was emotional. They kind of brought his bodyguard in there, Shadow, who passed away and everything. So he was feeling the force of that, and he said he had a dream that his bodyguard told him he would win in this amount of time and all this. But the fact still remain, at the end of the day, the consistencies with the ref, it's certain fights was there and they just let it go on. I don't know if you saw the fight between Quinn Randall and William Jackson, but William Jackson took a knee for a second time. Michael Stafford put the towel on the ring apron, and the fight didn't stop. They continued, and it ended up going the distance. And then people's like, okay, you have something legitimate to talk about now. Like, they threw the towel up there, and I guess William said no, or the ref ignored it, and they kept fighting. It was a good fight for William to be out the ring as long as he was. Man, he put up a good fight, in my opinion. He didn't quit. He was knocked down, I think, twice. I mean, he put up a damn good fight. But the fact that the towel was tossed on the ring apron to stop the fight, and the ref pretty much, jettisoned the idea of stopping the fight, it went on and ended up, Quinn Randall earned a decision win instead of a knockout. I'm pretty sure, he would have, like any fighter, he would have liked a knockout, but no, it didn't happen. Ivan Redcatch, Regis Progress. Now, one will not be the one to take a picture with Ivan Redcatch and he pulls off what he do. That, what? That set the tone for the rest of the night. I'm not gonna lie. Me taking a picture, let me show you the picture I took. Me taking a picture with Ivan Redcatch probably freaking spooked the whole entire evening. Real talk. I mean, something wasn't right about this fight week. Something wasn't right, man. I just don't know what it was. Can't put my finger on it, but something wasn't right. Regis Progress does what Regis Progress is capable of doing. He goes in there and he comes to fight. Regis is a motherfucking. I respect the shit out of Regis, for always going in there, and represent the sport the right way. You know what I'm saying? I got to give him his love, show him his love for that. Real talk. But he just happened to be in that with a guy that chose to taint Regis fighting on the Triller card. The reason why it tainted him fighting on the Triller card, because a lot of people look at it as like you have split entertainment. You have real fighters versus entertainers, right? But yet combine them together, they still entertainment. Some people looking at, the music part of it, and you have two millionaires just fighting on there for entertainment. A lot of people are trying not to take Triller seriously, but yet and still they complain about boxing not giving them everything they want in the sport with the best fighting the best. So then you got to think about Triller providing you entertainment value along with a combination of sports. Regis comes in there with no buffoonery, no fuckery. He comes in there to give you that damn boxing entertainment all day. He represents the sport well, very well. I got to give a salute out to Regis Progress, Rougarou. He represents the sports where he's not going to do no fake boy shit. I'm coming in here to play around and they, whatever. So when people found out that Regis Progress was on the card, some people probably looked at him like, damn, why are you on this card there, Regis? What the fuck you got going on? And Regis was like, man, I took the opportunity. I saw a slot that was there to get paid and stay active. Shit, let me do it. Who am I fighting? Boom, Ivan Redcatch. He goes in there and he starts getting the better of Ivan, start opening up on him. He starts getting into his rhythm early. Ivan Redcatch is having a bad day early. You know what I'm saying? He's having a bad day. He's really catching some solid punches from Regis, and Regis was on the verge of knocking him out. Period. Stopping him, knocking him out. If the ref would have stopped it, or if he would have got knocked out, Regis was on the verge of knocking him out. Regis lands what I call BSP. I mean BSS. All right. I call it the Bruce Seldon special because this punch that caused Ivan Redcash to drop to the canvas and attempt to kick and scream like a newborn donkey. You know what I'm saying? Like this motherfucker, we looking, I'm looking through my camera. I'm like, what? Like what did I just watch? He didn't even hit him that hard. Like, you trying to say he hit you in the nuts? That punch wasn't nowhere near the crotch. The replay came up. It took me back to Amir Khan Crawford when I was looking through the camera lens. I'm like, what? That didn't hit you in the groin, dog. That hit you, and then the replay come out. It hit him on the thigh, and then this one with Ivan Redcatch, it kind of bounced off the glove. It was nowhere near the proximity of his crotch. Ivan Redcatch, man, you bailed out, man. You quit. You kind of pretty much disgraced boxing on fighting on that Triller card that night. It wasn't like people was looking forward to seeing Redcatch, but what Redcatch did that night was disgraceful. Like, I've seen Amir Khan quit against Crawford, but he was on his feet. You know what I'm saying? He kind of gave you that notion that he didn't want to turn around and look at Crawford, giving him that look like, dude, come on now. Come on, Khan. Man, I ain't fucking hit you in the balls, man. Stop it. You quitting. Or, you know, when you get the Jason Rosario effect, Charlo hits him with a jab, and Jason Rosario start convulsing and doing the funky monkey on the motherfucking canvas. I just didn't see it that way. I just didn't see he hit you like it was something for you to start convulsing and shit all over the place. Ivan Redcatch, I don't know. Listen, to be honest with you, I don't know if he took a big whiff of what Snoop was smoking. I don't know if that had an adverse effect on him. I don't know if he was high. He came to the ring, in a sound mind and body, but he got high during the match. And he said, "Damn, I'm really not gonna win this." And plus, that gas that Snoop's on, that goddamn diesel fuel is fucking me up. And then Regis like, "Shit, I'm fucking you up, nigga. Don't worry about what Snoop doing. I'm fucking you up." And he drops to the canvas and he's just acting like he was hit in the motherfucking nuts with a damn sledgehammer, dog. It's almost like, he took a paintball, that motherfucker, a rubber bullet. It's almost like a motherfucker got hit. He was hit in the motherfucking groin by a bucking motherfucking stallion or something. Like a professional punter came in there and kicked him in the goddamn nuts without him looking. He was showing the fuck out. That was the biggest ink spot on that entire card. Ivan Redcatch. Ivan, man, if you thought people was on you from what Tank was doing to you in sparring, bro, you ain't. The pictures I got, I'm definitely gonna put you out there, Shawty. It ain't gonna be in a real bad way because I gotta maintain professionalism. Shout out to Triller, for letting me cover their card, but definitely, I have some photos out there, bro, that I haven't got to yet. That you on that stretcher. You're on a stretcher. You couldn't even walk away. You know, it takes me back to my boy Javier Fortuna. Yes, Javier, you in the picture too, Javier. I seen you quit too in Texas. I seen you quit against Adrian Granados, homie. I seen Ivan Redcatch quit, and he put on a show. This motherfucker face was red. He act like motherfucking was trying. Look, it looked like Ivan Redcatch was passing a motherfucking kidney stone right there in the ring all of a sudden. I don't know what the fuck was going on with him, man. Did Amir Khan versus Crawford? He did. Yeah, Amir Khan versus Crawford, D. Hodges, man. Shit. Amir Khan, no. Damn, look, Crawford was working Amir Khan over, and he was looking for a fucking way out. So when Crawford hit him on the thigh, that was it. If people are trying to say that boxers don't quit, athletes don't quit. It can be combat sports, it can be anything. But we're talking about strictly combat sports. If you think they don't quit, they do. They just look for the right opportunity to quit. They have to make it look a certain way. And I can actually say Ivan Redcash, if he felt some type of way about all the criticism he was getting with Gervonta Davis putting him on noodle legs, wait. If you ain't already seen it, the shit is already out here on Twitter. Wait till this week right here is over with. They're gonna tear Ivan Redcatch. They're gonna tear his ass up, bro. Because you was representing boxing. You and Regis Prograis was the second pure boxing match. Like real talk. Like you had Quinn Randall and William Jackson, and then you had Regis Prograis and Ivan Redcatch. You know what I'm saying? Y'all box. Both sides of the spectrum, y'all box. And looking at what Ivan did for boxing, you know, he deserves all the criticism he's gonna get. Real talk, he deserves it because he put on a motherfucking show. The referee tried to get him up. He's rolling all around and shit like that. You know what? I think Ivan wanted to get out of Atlanta. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look, check this out. I think Ivan wasn't ready for the commentary that they can hear as much as they do. Like with Triller, if you in the ring, you can hear the commentary. They're talking shit about you over there. They bigging you up or they talking shit. And if they smoking, you can smell it. Whatever. Ivan probably was in motherfucking shock. He said, "No, I want to leave now. I don't want to stay no more. I want to go." You know, Ivan Redcatch wasn't ready for this. They was over there talking shit about Redcatch. He probably got upset and said, "You know, I'm gonna show you motherfuckers. Fuck everything else you heard. I'm gonna show you. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. I don't give a fuck what you think." But when the replay came back, Regis is looking at the replay and he's pointing like, "Man, I didn't hit you in the nuts. I didn't hit you in the crotch. You good. You faking, dog. You faking. I didn't hit you nowhere close to that." Once again, shout out to Regis, man, being a true damn sportsman. Michael Johnson Boxing talking more. What's good? What it do? Andrew, what's good with you? You know, hey, don't put too much emphasis into it. You know, there, Ivan, because you ain't gonna be able to stop the damn vilification that's coming your way this week. They're gonna let me see, can I even find an article out here that has to do with Ivan Redcatch? I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go on a simple one. Let's see. Let me see, can I find it out here on. Let me see if somebody's even gonna to talk attempt to talk about Ivan Redcatch. But y'all, what happened in boxing? I heard my boy Vito Melnicki lost. I heard that Tony Harrison fight, they robbed Perella. I heard they robbed him, man. But let me get back to the topic at hand. Regis Prograis chose to go into Triller and fight. It was a whole different format. So therefore, he was fighting somebody like Redcatch, who we wasn't sure what he was going to give us, right? But this is an issue that I have with Regis, though. I'm not sure where he's going next. Like Regis he wants Adrian Broner next at 140. I'm not sure if that fight can happen unless Adrian Broner is willing and able to stay active and somehow make that weight at 140. Like how is he going to be able to make that weight when they had to change the weight from the last fight? So if he's able to get a solid fight camp with a minimum of 8 weeks, can he make 140? Can he can he sustain his health and make 140? Because Regis wants Adrian Broner next. And I know where this is going. For Regis, the belts are tied up. Okay. The belts are tied up right now. So Regis is being smart. I like what he's doing. Regis is saying, let me stay active enough to make these checks and fight certain individuals that can get me a solid set of numbers that I can work with. So him asking for Broner, that's a tough fight for Broner right now. But when you look at it, Broner's never been stopped, and he showed that he's one of the toughest fighters in the game. Regis is showing that he's one of the toughest fighters in the game. I think the fight is a good matchup if it happened, if someone's willing to sign off on it. Andrew said, salute WCS. What's good, bro? Salute to you. The fact the Redcatch was so committed to selling his act and he let them put his ass in a stretcher had me cracking up. Dude, man, Andrew, you ain't never lied. I had to walk down maybe about 25 steps. I wanted to get as close as I could for Redcatch to be carted off on that damn stretcher. Seriously, because he sold that motherfucker. He sold the shit out that motherfucker. Like you couldn't tell Redcatch he wasn't hurting at all. He wanted to get out of Atlanta, man. He said, "No, I don't like ATL. Fuck it, I'm out." He didn't want to be in ATL no more, shawty. He wanted to go back there, get checked by the doctor, and get the hell on. Because why? People are not gonna, it wasn't hardly any fans in the arena, first of all. So he's not gonna feel the backlash from the fans. So if you really want to become an actor and quit, you know what I'm saying, bow out of a fight, that would be the perfect time to do it. There wasn't no fans in there, enough fans for him to feel the full effect of them throwing shit at him and calling him names and shit. No. He was looking up at the top of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. He was still putting on the show. Time he got back there past them damn double doors and seen the real lights, and he was heading back near the dressing room. That convulsion started to say, "Yeah, go collect this check." But I still gotta hold my hand on my stomach. I still gotta hold my hand on my stomach. He hit me hard. I still gotta play it off. Then when he get down there, he asked him one of the EMTs, "Can you just stand me up? I just want to walk this off," and do the walking off method. Man, I'm feeling much better now. Man, Ivan, do you want us to give you an IV? No, I'm good. I'm good. Just grab me a water right quick. Do you want some ice? No, the AC is doing just fine right now. The AC, I'm pretty good. Okay. Do you need help walking to? Oh, no, I'm straight. I'm feeling better for some reason. I just think it's probably something that was out in that arena, that hit me. I'm not sure it was, but I feel awesome. I feel very good. I can go back out there for another one. I'm serious, man. Ivan, what were you doing, bro? Man, come on. You goddamn that shit, man, bro, man. You just nah. It was a disappointment, y'all. Ivan Redcash quit. I don't want to see Ivan Redcash fight anytime soon. He quit. Just like Ryan Garcia fighting Javier Fortuna. I don't want to see it. I don't care how many win. I just always look at fighters like that they quit, but they're not in dire need. Like it's not life or death when you quitting. They're quitting, and they're nowhere close to life and death. That's what I saw from Javier Fortuna. Adrian Granados was just touching him up real nice and outworking him, and he quit. Ivan Redcatch being outworked. Regis would have knocked him out sooner or later. He quit. He probably saw that the referee was letting the fights go on just a little bit longer than his liking. He's like, God damn. So shit, I ain't gonna be able to get a TKO. Boom. He goes into acting mode. And then you wait till the main event with Ben Askren because it's so late. You want to say, oh, well, our money man is Jake Paul. He gets the knockdown. It's the only knockdown of the fight. And he can't get back up. You want to call the night because it's early in the AM. I just think the referee should have been consistent. If he was gonna not stop the fight and basically allow fighters to fight on, well, guess what? You should have did the same thing for the main event. And people can't take this Triller shit lightly. They really have big things going on. Like I know yesterday some of you was looking at it like, man, this is a lot. Yeah, man. Like you was able to watch pre-recorded, songs from artists, and you was able to watch boxing in a sense inside the ring. The ring was a bit small to me, and everybody who was in attendance seen that. I don't know how it looked from the outside looking in with y'all, but the ring was pretty small. What that does is forces fighters to fight. So you gotta take that in consideration. If you're choosing to fight on Triller, their format will be a bit different than what you're used to. But I liked it. I mean, I like the format, y'all. I was able to see the whole start to finish on how they do shit. Their rig, you know, um, their special effects, seeing the artists walk by. JB, man, shout out to Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, though, that motherfucker know he cool as shit. I mean, he's talented as fuck too. He's talented. I think overall, in my opinion, Justin Bieber's performance was off the chain. Like Justin Bieber was on point. When JB came up, that motherfucker, they was making sure nobody was recording. They had already put red tape over your phones and you couldn't record. When JB hit the scene, and for his performance, I mean his shit was on point. But now you probably saying to yourself, but Cube, E40, Snoop, Too Short, they shit was pre-recorded. It was some people up there whose shows was pre-recorded. And then there was some who performed in person. But JB's performance was live. And I can understand why he got the preferential treatment. Because when he was practicing, they made everybody leave the Mercedes-Benz Stadium that was in there. They made everybody leave the floor, rather, so he can practice. Real talk. Look, that's a motherfucking power as an artist, dog. But I have to give him the check mark, bro. Watching Justin Bieber performance, man, would have been good to have a lady there. You know what I'm saying? Have your girl there for that performance because that shit was on point. That shit was nice, man. Shout out to JB. What's going on, Mitch? How you feeling, bro? We are just talking about your boy Ivan Ratcatcher, how he was sitting up there giving us that race, that Jason Rosario convulsing action combined with the fetal position. Goddamn waddle around on the canvas like he ate some bad motherfucking seafood. hey, I get it, Michael. I get it, Michael. You know what I'm saying? But I was there. I was there, Mike. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I can't knock him as an artist, man. You know what I'm saying? When he came on, I was like, all right, cool. All right. But I was really rocking out to the hip hop. Real talk. It was good to see the OGs on deck. Cube, one of my favorite. Cube, Snoop. I grew up off Too Short and E40 them though. All them cats for sure. I mean, but JB was one of those performances that combined with the special effects and everything, the songs and him singing, it was cool, man. That's not something I watch. I would not pay to see Justin Bieber perform, but if I'm there like I was yesterday, of course, man, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna look over there and say, okay, he was so far away, I really couldn't get any good shots. I got some, but I gotta give him his props, man. He's a talented artist, man. That's all I'm gonna say, Mike. Short dog, yeah, short dog. Man, listen, I didn't even, I saw Ross, so I'm like, shit, that go Ross right there. But I know there is no way I'm gonna be able to get an interview with him. He was a good distance away. Plus, he was with people. Vander Holyfield, of course, he was down there. Teofimo was over there, of course. Cambosis happened to be in the same hotel lobby I was in, but I missed him. Another one of my compeers, media compeers, was able to get the interview. He put that shit up. I was like, God damn. It'll be good, man. Some people hit you up and say, hey, man, Cambosis down here. But hey, it is what it is, man. You get in where you fit in, man. You get the fish on the hook if you do. That's how I would do. If I was doing some shit, I would say, hey, bro, I got Cambosis down here. I know you here. I got Cambosis, man. And you want to hurry up and pull up on him while he down here giving the interview. But hey, man, it's nothing I can sit up here and goddamn talk about too much, but I just wish it would have went down that way from who was getting the interview. Seriously. He said, what the fuck with Red Catch on? Made his family look stupid. He always looks stupid. Fucking disgrace. Nominated for an Oscar and Emmy and that shit. Yeah, man. His family ringside. Man, he rolling all around and shit. I mean, I seriously think they had somewhere to go. Maybe they was trying to go to Magic City and shit. That's right down the street. Maybe they was trying to go to Magic City. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Because the only thing that late at night that was open was the clubs. I don't know. Maybe they had a private party. I seriously doubt Ivan went to the after party because they did have some after parties over there. They had some after parties, and I can assure you, nobody better not bring me a picture of Ivan Redcatch at a motherfucking after party because there was a lot of it going on, man. The after party was lit. But I don't think Ivan Redcatch had the cojones to step up in there and say, oh, I'm all, man, it's just something. It stung me, man. It was just like a shock went through my body. Yeah, it was a shock. It was motherfucking that the type of shock when you commit to say, damn, I'm gonna fake the shit out this motherfucker. And you shock yourself on how good you actually was able to act. That's the shock. You shock yourself and say, God damn, I didn't know I can act this well. I might goddamn move the family out to Hollywood. I might be able to do some damn drama series, some action movies. I didn't know I can do this. His wife up there tomorrow, baby. I didn't know you had it in you. Let's hire you an agent. That was great. Wow. You sold that. What's going on, Alan? How you feel, bro? Love and blessings to you and your family from Liverpool. You haven't missed nothing, man. Nothing at all. We just talking about the Triller car yesterday. Beaver's show was cool. I'm attempting to dance. Was funny though. Looked like he was limping around the stage. Solid performance though. And Keith fireworks and shit. The kids, a pro. Yeah, Beaver, man. He's a talented artist, man. That's all I can say about that. Now Doja Cat and Sweetie, they was nice too, man. You just couldn't see them. Like really, the way it was set up in the entertainment business, like the way Triller does it, is that the artist performs in front of the camera setting. So they basically take that stream and they display it out on a big, huge monitor, right? And the crowd is able to watch the performance on a monitor, not like a freaking concert where you pay to go see the concert and you standing there, you watch the performance live on stage. I know a lot of people probably had that was in attendance. They probably assumed that's the way it was going to be, but you really could not see the artist other than Justin Bieber. No, you not even Justin Bieber. You really couldn't see the artist. If you was in the stands, you couldn't see the artist directly head on. Only the people who had the VIP status that was on the floor could walk from the ring over there from the ring where they was having some performances, which was pretty much directly to the lens of the camera and projected out to the fans in attendance via a huge monitor. With Justin Bieber, he was over on a different stage where the Black Keys performed, and you have everything set up over there. But yet, that wasn't directly facing the fans like it's a concert. Of course, it would have been nice, but it's for a reason, so people cannot sit up there and video and all that. Even though I see some people out here with the video on IG, some of the people that was down there videoing the performance and stuff like that. But to the fans that was in the audience, it was just one of those situations where you felt you understood completely about the ticket that you had wasn't VIP, and you wasn't going to be able to get that bird's eye view, that direct view of Justin Bieber's perform head on. You're gonna have to just look at it from a distance. When Justin Bieber came on and the phones came out in the stands, they were shutting that shit down. They say, no, you can't record like that. Get out. You can't record. It was a bizarre setup, but I must confess, being a Snoop fan, I enjoy the commentary. That's when look, Snoop was driving the carts around doing what Snoop does. He has ownership in Triller, so it's nothing no one's gonna tell him he can't do. But I do find it a bit genius in what Snoop is doing, under the radar, so to speak. If you don't know, Snoop is part owner of Triller. So he's going to be able to go up there and give you the Snoop Dizzle. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be able to talk to you on how he feels like. And look, you never will imagine someone as boring and bland as De La Hoya would be talking as much as he did. Now, of course, if he was sober, it wouldn't have been that way. But I'm assuming, allegedly. Could you imagine someone like Snoop actually getting De La Hoya to jump out his shell just a little bit and talk shit? That shit was hilarious, man. Like, we're talking about Oscar De La Hoya here. He's up there bullshitting with Snoop. And the one thing about the fighters that's in the ring, they can hear what the commentary. I mean, that shit is loud. They talking shit about you. You can hear everything. So you have to deal with it and keep on fighting. You can't really let it get in your head. So even with the once again, Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos was up there too on the panel next to the ring talking shit. And they was talking shots back and forth. Teofimo told he told George Kambosos, which is true, that he has stilettos on. I ain't gonna lie, T.O.'s he's up in his trash talking game a little bit. And Kambosos told him he had what he had on and shit. He said, I'm from head to toe. Hey, I like Kambosos the way he trash talking. He said, from head to toe, I got Versace here, da 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 da. And then that's when T.O. say, yeah, I saw you with them stilettos too. So what he meant by that is, if you look at their face-off people, George Kambosos, he has those shoes that advance your height. He has those tennis shoes with the thick ass sole on the bottom to make you look taller than what you are. So their mindset was to go in there, and when it was time to face off, he looked much taller and bigger than Teofimo Lopez. I don't know who suggested that, but I look at shit like that, and if you look at his shoes, man, that shit, man, god damn, it looked like motherfucking 3 inches of sole on this shoe. Take a peek at it. Take a peek at it. You know what I'm saying? Take a peek at it. He wasn't bullshitting, y'all. Yeah, Michael said Oscar was zooted. Hey man, I seen Oscar, man. I wanted to get an interview, man, but I'm gonna leave it to that. I think he was having fun long before he stepped on the motherfucking stage. I tried my best. Oscar was moving, dog. Like they had the South and the North Tower, man. And a lot of the heavy hitters was in the North Tower. Real talk. A lot of the heavy hitters was in the North Tower. A lot of people that was accessible before aren't accessible is now. They've been given orders. I'm just being honest. They've been given orders. They have a new PR team and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's unfortunate. But I guess when you elevate your stardom, people start to give you orders and shit and tell you how to move to better your brand. Unfortunately, you separate yourself from the fans. It's unfortunate, man. T.O. was like, I went to TJ Maxx. T.O.'s keeping it humble, man. And him wanting to be up here, him wanting to be in the game, the sport of boxing, and earn as much money as possible performing in the sport rather than look a certain way every time is his moment to step into the ring, like doing the face off with all this expensive shit. He's just keeping it simple, basic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you look at what he's doing, he's being very intelligent about it, because a lot of boxers past their prime come back to the sport because they're broke. And Teofimo Lopez is basically being frugal. You know how it goes. Not everybody's gonna respect you when you're showing up with just basic looking material, but it comes and goes. People say, "Oh man, look what so and so had on." Then they move the fuck on. They don't care no more. Reese will get his ass whooped at welterweight. He's stuck in between 140 47. Mike Garcia beats him. Well, if Mike Garcia beats him, that'll be a good fight too. But right now, it seems like he's trying to get with AB. I'd like to see that fight between Reese and Mikey Garcia. Absolutely. And I agree with what you're saying. For 147, he's too small, man. 147 Regis is too small. I agree. 140 is where he at. But once again, I'm the same one who said I ain't think Tank. I did not at no given time think Tank was moving up to 140 right now. And he's fighting Mario Barrios. That's wild. But different things happen, man. Was nice to have so much boxing on yesterday at all levels. Askren didn't look like he could give a shit. payday for him. I think Askren, his best performance of this fight weekend that just passed was him doing the mitts. When he finally decided to step into the ring and do whatever he wanted to do, I mean, he did slip some punches, and I believe Askren could have put on, gave a better account of himself in there with Jake Paul because he has so much fight experience. He's wrestled on the highest level. He's fought mixed martial arts. I said it over and over again. I just don't see him not being able to maneuver himself and go some rounds with Jake Paul. It just didn't make any sense to me. So if people saying he quit, he's gonna have to deal with that himself. Because when it comes down to it, your experience level there, Ben Askren, your experience level proves that you are much higher level of a fighter, IQ wise, than Jake Paul. Just like Frank Mir went in there, and he's a bigger, slower fighter, but he went the distance. It wasn't like he was hanging out on the outside. It's his smarts and intelligent on trying to set traps for Steve Cunningham. The same thing with Ben Askren. He could have set traps. But he wanted to keep on pressuring with that robotic style, and then he called the right hand. Hold on for a second, people. Yeah, I'm back, man. What y'all think about some of the fights, man? What you think about that Tony Harrison fight? Boxing was weird. Boxing was weird to me yesterday, man. Vito took his first loss. You know, Dion took his first loss. Tony Harrison, he took another loss, believe it or not. You know, I mean, he said, "What do you think?" Let me read this. He said, "What do you think of Conor Benn?" I look forward to seeing Conor Benn step in the ring, just like I saw him when he fought Sebastian Formella. I like what I'm seeing from Conor Ben. You know what I'm saying? Conor Ben stepped in there and stopped Samuel Vargas when he went to distance with Famela, and people was like, "Oh, he don't have no punching power, but he has flash. He has everything else that you need in a boxer." So I said, "All right, cool. So let's see how he do in this next fight." And then he goes in here and stops Samuel Vargas. So styles and fights, they are the suit. It all depends on how boxers wear them, right? So I like Conor Ben, what he brings to the game. His bravado, his hand speed. How he goes in there and entertain the crowd. We just have to see how he looks when he steps in there with a higher tier competition. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. Like, we looked at Famela, who went the distance with Sean Porter. We was like, okay, cool. What is Conor Ben gonna show us? And he goes the distance, even though he touched him up quite well, though. He touched him up real bad. And then went in here and closed out Samuel Vargas. It looked bright for Conor Ben. I like the cat. He has ink on his body. He giving you that bad boy type of energy, with the ink on him, painting a picture of his life, what he's been through, and all this other stuff. I think he's good for boxing, though. We just have to see him and improve his competition. He said, "Bum ass ref. Got to understand, Ben is there to go out on a shield. He made the 10 count up on his feet coherently. Let him get touched again. Motherfuckers didn't protect Nate and Rob. He ain't even in combat sports." And see, this is why I didn't bring up Nate and Rob. I mean, Paul. Paul and Robinson. It was because Nate Robinson wasn't an athlete when it comes to combat sports. So I really didn't want to compare him to Ben Askren and Jake Paul. Ben Askren is a legitimate bona fide fighter. What you said make a lot of sense. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. It does. It makes a lot of sense. But the inconsistency is what I'm trying to make sense of when it comes to how they let certain fights go on yesterday and how some they didn't or whatever. Like, most of them they did. Like, even with Ivan Redcatch, he was milking and milking and milking like he got hit. He was hitting the nuts, right? The ref still didn't stop the fight. He tried to pick him up, give him some time, see if he wanted to continue. He gave him ample amount of patience until Ivan wants to drop back on and become this motherfucking fetal baby. You know what I'm saying? That popped out the womb and don't know how to walk. Somebody help me out. I can't walk anymore. I'm hurting. This motherfucker acting like a newborn baby in life, dog. All curled up and shit in the fetal position. Like, it was a disgrace, dog. They got to be consistent. And yeah, you're right, man. Robinson gets knocked down face first, gets back up, referee continue. Face first again, referee continue. Face first again. I mean, come on, bro. There's no way that fight should have been stopped yesterday. No way, no how. I don't care if it was 2:00 in the morning. The fight shouldn't have been stopped. Man, all top 20 welterweights will eat Conor at this point. Conor Ben need that Cheeseman smoke. I agree. It's a lot of solid names out there for Conor Ben. But he's trying to call out Amir Khan. He's trying to call out somebody, with good hand speed and flash. They match up good. Amir Khan a little bit taller. He wants Amir Khan next, man. He's made that clear. Fighters have their mentality on putting their finger on certain, opponents that they want to have in the ring and dance with next. So he called Amir Khan out. Sir Ken in the building. What's good, bro? Welcome at Sports. Salute. Salute to the wrenches and salute to the chat. Smash the like button. Ken is in the building. What's good on this Sunday? Hopefully everyone is doing great on this Sunday, man. I know the churches have opened back up. and some of you have sinned yesterday and Friday. So you had the opportunity to go in there and ask in the house of the Lord for forgiveness. All right, so I'm just letting you know, man. Red Cast these being of the year, man. Red Cast is going to be a lot of things of the year for real. It's unfortunate, like seriously, it's very unfortunate, man. Like I put him up there with the Bruce Seldon. I put him up there with the Mircons. I'm just throwing some names out there. You know, it's been plenty of people that really fake quitting and did just a they didn't do a poor job of acting, but they once they got into the role, they overdid it. I got to put Jason Rosario in that. I have to put Sergey Kovalov in that damn shit. Nobody's gonna tell me that Mr. Wobbly Legs. All of us, no, no. I felt he was acting a little bit too much too. Who else I can say that quit? What's another name of a recent fight often that quit? Let me go through the Rolodex. Who? I mean, boxers just don't quit like that. But Red Cash, man, goddamn it, you's a quitter. What you got popping there, Ken? How there was a line of at the confession booth that went around the block. For real, man. Hey, places are opening up right now. People are starting to get back into the groove. Listen, some of y'all made y'all stimulus check. You turned that shit over and everything, made some money off of it. And some people committed sins with your stimulus check. I mean, the stimulus checks didn't come with morals and principles. So whatever you did with it, you bought some weed with it. You know what I'm saying? If you went and bought some other things that allow you pleasure for a moment, that's you. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I ain't mad at you, dog. Your father, I have to confess to you. I really wanted to seek out Red Catch and slap the shit out of him yesterday, Father. I had anger in my heart, Father. I was seething mad, Father. I waited around all that time and he just quit like that, Father. He disrespected the sport of boxing. Father, if you don't mind, I know you know a lot of people here in the city. Can you give me an address of where he might be, a location? That's all I need from you, Father. Another big weekend of fights. Just took all of it in. I know. It's not too many people talking about the UFC card that was on, but you know, it was weird, man. It was just a lot of stuff that was going on. Like when I saw Oscar De La Hoya after I took a picture with Ivan Redkach, some told me without knowing it that was early in the day. I say Oscar, he looks a little bit more talkative. Like Oscar was down here in the A. Shit, it looked like he just left the club. This is broad daylight. I think Oscar celebrated himself nice when he was down here in the A for real. But I couldn't get close to him. I couldn't get close to him for interviews. No way he was gonna do an interview, man. His people's like, not right now, not right now. It's not like I ain't try. I know somebody told me a while ago with media. He say, if you walk up to them with your phone already out, they have no other choice but to interview. No, not exactly. They will tell you no. They will tell you no. It don't matter if you got the phone out or not. They will tell you no. God damn it. Khan tells his barber, go easy when getting his beard trimmed. Suspect ass shit. So you said a beard Khan might goddamn go to sleep in a barber's chair and shit if the barber, goddamn line him up too aggressively. I feel you, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he don't put any spritz on that motherfucker. He don't put no spritz on that Mitch. You know what I'm saying? He might, then put enough, then let the spritz dry enough and put them edges on there. And it might have pulled a hair or two, and Khan just lose his mind and go wreck catching on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Wreck catching in that bitch, bucking and shit, doing that Jason Rosario, that convulsion and shit. Wait a minute. Weed is a sin? Shit, mate. I need to go back to see the priest. No, it ain't a sin. It's not a sin. So many people lost their lives over weed, though. So, in reality, you know, speaking on it, yes, it's considered a sin in some references. Why? Because the smoking weed with the THC base to it, the natural THC is supposed to be the best, really. But what they got out there now, you know, shit is called a motherfucking black hole and goddamn TNT dynamite times 3. That ain't the shit you pick out the motherfucking field, let it dry out and roll it up. That's some shit with some other shit on top of some shit. Stir that shit, let it sit, put some more shit in it, and then it's right. You know, you got some 5, 6 point, 7 point, 8.0 type shit out there now that, yeah, you smoke it like weed, but it's really drug. I mean, it's just really some drug shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. I'm telling you the way I think it is, man. I think it's too much shit that's in weed right now that's getting motherfuckers high and fucking with their head. He said, I bet you the dope man brought a bigger package with the stimulus. No friends that did it. For real. Man, everybody utilize their stimulus different, man. I think whenever marijuana become legalized down here in Georgia, I don't think I'd be alive even if I thought about, you know, I don't even think I'd be alive. It's a reason why they're not legalizing that shit down here. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason. I mean, Georgia do shit different, man. Snoop said he got Oscar together. I know he did. And Ken, you know it. When Snoop said he got Oscar together, you know what that means. Listen, in the arena, right? They had the shit that was going on down on the floor. But what y'all didn't know and what I didn't record was a party that was going on upstairs. That party, you can stand down on, like I can leave where I was, the media row, and I can go out and the party was right there. You can hear the music, motherfuckers drinking, having a good old time. You couldn't get access up there unless you was on the list. Like that was straight up VIP. That's probably where Ross was and everybody else. And they was having a damn good time. I ain't gonna lie. They was having a good. I never could imagine like shit like that actually could go on in something like Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Like I understand they have the suites and everything that people pay for and stuff like that, but this would be just the upper level of where concession would be, and being it's COVID practice. They only had certain levels that was open to those that was in the media, whatever. We was only access to that level. But if you was to go up one more level, when you get off the elevator, you'll be able to go to that spot right there. And that party was lit, dog. That party was lit. Like them people was having so much fun up there, dog. Like, wow. I would have absolutely liked to been up there and see what was popping. Like the music was bumping. Like the music was loud enough for Media Row to hear it while the music was going on down on the floor. But the people on the floor cannot hear it. You know what I'm saying? But we could. You know, we could hear it. And it was live. I ain't gonna lie. It was live. I definitely want to try to get an interview with Ross. But, you know, when you call their name, they just give you the wave and that's it. They got shit to do. They don't know who you are. I get it. But Ross was on deck, you know, looking rich. You know what I'm saying? Looking rich. He didn't have no wings. I was like, Ross, you didn't bring me no wings up this motherfucker, Ross. You in the shawty? Damn. You could have at least brought some free wings. 20, 30 piece. That's nothing for you, dog. Just goddamn send that text to one of your franchise locations. I know Ross catered some damn wing. I know he brought some wings to the Mercedes Benz. I know he did. Hell yeah, he did. So what y'all think about Demetrius Andrade? I can't leave, without speaking about the myth, the ghost, Demetrius Andrade. Well, what do you think about him? What do you think about what was going on with Demetrius Andrade, who people can continue to put him in the picture of the big three that's at 60? You know what I'm saying? Mauro Charlo, Gennady Golovkin, Demetrius Andrade. What do you think about his performance against Leon Williams? Is it something that you would like to see? Or you still want to see him against Mauro Charlo or no? What about Tony Harrison? Did he really get a majority draw? I don't think so. I think Brian Perella did what he was supposed to do, and he should have got the win. That's real. And then, of course, we haven't really heard anything else from the situation with Joshua Fury. I mean, I heard some shit behind the scenes, which unfortunately I can't put out there, but dealing with Wilder, but and the Joshua Fury trifecta. But peep this out. Be sure that you understand that PBC. I know a lot of people out here dogging out the PBC card as if it's garbage. I'm saying to myself, how can the PBC card be garbage? Like, you have some very solid fights on there. You have Jermell Charlo going for undisputed at super welterweight. That's not garbage. Who doesn't want to see Stephen Fulton step back in the ring? Who doesn't want to see that shit? It's going to be Nery or Figueroa. Who doesn't want to see, a champion step back in the ring? I'm not saying I'm not understanding where all this is going wrong. Gervonta Davis and Mario Barrios. Who doesn't want to see that fight though? Who doesn't want to see Rigondeaux and Casemiro? I think they're mad because some of these fights are lower weight classes. I mean, why would you be mad? That's some good shit. Andre been catching a little flack, but I didn't think he looked as bad as some people saying. I just want to ask you this, Andrew. Like, what do you like? What advice would you give as far as your assessment on him defeating Liam Smith and his performance on the build up a fight potentially to further try to unify the division as far as ticket selling, his brand? Do you want to see him potentially in there with Mauro Charlo or Triple G? And is there any doubt that Demetrius Andrade will have problems against Triple G with the way he looked against Liam Smith? I'm just asking those type of questions, though. You know what I'm saying? Andre is definitely gifted, but he got tagged last night, and Charlo would have jumped on him in the situation. I agree with that. That makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world. But once again, fighters have bad days. Not to make excuses for Andrade. Fighters have bad days. But in this middleweight division, people talk about how slick and how crafty Andrade is. But shit, now when he step in there and Charlo name comes up, Charlo gonna be dogging the fuck out of him. Say, man, you ain't doing shit. Look the way you look against Smith, and you want to step in here with me? No, that's not. I'm not in a hurry to make that shit happen, bro. You sorry, you suck, you ain't shit. I mean, that's what Mar Charlo's gonna say, assumingly. Can't say Boo Boo looked okay, but I could see that he needs to stay active. He is over 30. We have right now a lot of big names that's 30 and over. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we have them. Even Fury and Joshua is up there. Spence, Crawford. We have some top names that we're looking at right now in boxing that is up there in age. Gary Russell Jr. We have a lot of fighters, but once again, I always have to look at the fact of what B Hop was able to do, what Floyd Mayweather was able to do, even George Foreman, what he was able to do with the younger Michael Moore. I can even go back to Archie Moore. Shit. I know it's a long time ago, but it's all about how you preserve your body and take care of yourself. They might be able to fight just a little bit longer. I don't know. I still want to see Charlo versus Andre after that performance. It's fair to say Charlo will be the favorite with the bookies. Andre is tricky, though. Maul jab would give him trouble. Everybody have to look at that fight, Mitch. They have to look at it this way. Look how, say for instance, Sean Porter looked against Yordenis Ugas. Sean Porter didn't look as good as we wanted him to look against Ugas. We was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, is he about to blow it? And then look how he went in there and performed against Errol Spence. I mean, some of these fighters have poor performances, man, with their opponent. They might look at it like, oh, this is not really somebody that I have to train hard for, or I'm not going to put my entire effort, but I know I can beat him. I don't know, but Sean Porter went in there and he looked a certain way against Ugas, but he looked damn good against Spence. He did. He looked real good. Look at Oscar Valdez stepping in there with Miguel Burchelt. Oscar has touched the canvas. People's like, oh man, his chin is suspect. Miguel Burchelt, he can hit, he can crack. Crickety crack. What happened? Valdez went in there and closed the show, dog. This shit go on and on. I'm telling you. I think to be honest with you, Andre may potentially look better against Maul Charlo, especially with the history they have and all that. I think he may go in there and perform differently than he did against Smith. Real talk. Fighters have bad days. I mean, Keith Thurman had a bad day against Manny Pacquiao, so we don't know what's left or what's up next for Keith Thurman, but I can assume he can come back and, put on a much better performance his next go round with a top tier opponent. That's all I can say on that. Fighters have difficult days. Like, perfect example, Julian Williams. Much as I don't like bringing it up, when Julian Williams faced Jarrett Hurd, man, I was like, God damn, man, this dude is boxing unbelievable. I mean, every punch he's thrown, he's precise, punctual, and he's on the target. He can't miss. He's so dominant. He dominated Jarrett Hurd. But yeah, he's stepping there with Jason Rosario, and it's quite opposite of the performance he had against Jarrett Hurd. I mean, it happens in boxing, bro. Like, God damn. It's crazy. It truly is when it comes down to the sport of boxing. We don't know the injury. We don't know what these boxers got going on. Mindset, their mental blade. We don't know what they have going on. But I would definitely like to see Maul Charlo Andre get that shit out the way, because it don't look like Gennadi's gonna do anything except keep his rocking chair close and turn on that old goddamn Leave It the Beaver music and rock on his damn porch. Gennady, we have a contract for you, a 2-fight contract. We just want to know if you no. I'm not signing no 2-fight contract. Who is it? Oh, it's Jamal Charlo. And nope, I'm not fighting Charlo in my career. Nope, nope. And I'm gonna check my security. How did y'all get on my property? I'm gonna check my security. Who let you on? I'm gonna check my security. Next time I need for them to check the paperwork. If you have anything, you carrying a freaking briefcase, I'm gonna make sure they search your briefcase and read over the documents, so I won't have to be presented with this on my property. Period. Tony Harrison fought real timid to me. I just hope all things are going on in his life come in the ring in the next fight. Yeah, I mean, I look at it this way too, Ken. I agree. I totally agree with what you're saying. We don't know how he's been feeling or how he's been living, being his dad passed away. You know what I'm saying? People's fathers, mothers pass away. Everybody mourns them different. You know what I'm saying? Some, mourn them much longer than others. So I can see where you're going with that. I mean, come on, man. His dad was an intricate, prominent role in his life. You know what I'm saying? Of course, bro. Yeah, for sure. I get it. I missed the part where Andre allegedly got rocked. I was probably pouring a drink at the time. I'm gonna tell you, I haven't had a chance to watch the whole fight. I watched some of the highlights. And you have to understand at the end of the day, these are professional fighters. So if a professional fighter isn't able to land a solid shot on another professional fighter such as Andre, then what are we watching? You know what I'm saying? So I give Smith as much credit landing the shot, but to Andre's credit, he doesn't supposed to be getting rocked like that. He doesn't. And then again, y'all, I know y'all hardcore boxing fans, right? We have to take in consideration to some of the shots that Chinko was able to land on Mar Charlo. I mean, are we gonna dog out Andre like Charlo? Because Charlo took some punishment against Sergey Chinko. He absolutely did. But he wasn't rocked, but he took punishment. He was able to get some Chinko was able to land some shots. I have to give Roy Jones credit for the way he prepared his fighter for his fight and game plan was working. Yeah, man, people sleeping on Roy Jones as a trainer for real. People sleeping on him. Shout out to Michael Williams Jr., Team Williams. It's one of his fighters among many. Shout out to Glenn Hagler Jr. Shout out to Andrew Murphy. You know what I'm saying? Roy Jones, man, he has his fighters and he flies under the radar as a trainer. He's still actively training in the process of stepping in the ring himself. So yeah, I salute the legend Roy Jones, man. I salute him for staying active and being relevant. Because when he shows up to a fight card, people still flock to him as if he's fighting. Like his notoriety. Like people still become a bit starstruck to say, God damn, that's Roy Jones, man. That's the one and only Roy Jones right there. And that's great. That's great because some boxers like, Ivan Redcatch, I seen him walking in the hotel. He didn't have look, y'all gonna laugh at this, but the only security he had with him was his shadow. I'm serious. He was walking by himself. No one knows who Redcatch was. Look, the only people that was keeping the eye out for him was cats like me because I'm media. And one of the reasons I knew it was him is because he had a damn outfit on with Ivan Redcatch on it. Listen, and second of all, I know he dyes his hair. So when he showed up with Ivan Redcatch and he had that aqua blue hair, I said, yep, that's him. That's not one of his team members. That is him. I actually tried to get an interview with him, but he didn't understand English that well. Real talk. He didn't understand English that well. So I said, all right, let me keep it moving. On to another day. I have to give Roy Jones credit for the way. Okay, I read that. Alan said, I don't like it when people say weights, chins are suspects. Heavyweights, chins are suspects. How would they cope being punched in the face by people like 220-pound plus? Um, who says that? I mean, who? Why are you directing that towards heavyweights? I don't know why you would direct. I don't know why people think I don't listen and read language. Like certain people come over here. Why would this be directed towards heavyweights though? This is directed to boxing in general. This is directed to people in general. Like, what are you saying? Heavyweights' chins are suspects. It's not the chin. It's the neurological connect. It's the neurological makeup. Everybody's body is wired different. You heard that before. So some people get tapped on the jawline that is shut down, and some people who tapped on the jawline with the same amount of pressure continues to stand and brush it off like it's nothing. So it doesn't have anything to do with a single weight class. If you're talking about something I've said in the past, if you're trying to refer to that, since I think you're from the UK, yes, Anthony Joshua has a suspect chin. Absolutely. Dillian White has a suspect chin. I stick to my code if that's what you're trying to hold me to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not upset about it. I just read into some people who refer stuff to certain weight classes and all that. Anthony Joshua has a suspect chin. If that's what you want to hear, he absolutely does. Okay, if it's in general, cool. But it deals a lot more than heavyweights now. It's a lot more than heavyweights that people say have a suspect chin. Amir Khan is not a heavyweight. Amir Khan is absolutely not a heavyweight at all. But suspect chins is individuals that hit the canvas off punches that wasn't delivered, signed, sealed, and delivered like Oscar Valdez. Signed, sealed, and delivered like Deontay Wilder. It's certain punches that land and you say, oh my God, there's no way they could have got up from that. There's no way they could have got up from that. Like, damn, what am I watching? We're not talking about working up to a knockout like Terrence Crawford. We're talking about the way Tyson used to knock motherfuckers out. We're talking about the knockout from Oscar Valdez over Miguel Burchelt, which was brutal. We're not talking, okay, let's bring up, okay, F.A. Jogba, okay? His most recent knockout. I mean, that in itself, like that, those are some brutal punches that you could have a chin and still go down. But when you're talking about individuals that just drop for damn near anything, they get hurt all the time. Hey, that's what people are saying about J-Rock. You know what I'm saying? People saying that about Erickson Lubin. They see you in enough fights where you get hurt, they're gonna say something about it. Look at Vostik. Look at Oleksandr Vostik. He still haven't returned to the ring since he lost his title. It's something else that's neurologically wired. You heard Jake Paul said, whether it's serious or not, that he has early signs of CTE, right? CTE has an important role on fighters. The damage internally to the cranial cap, you never know what's lit and what's not, what's gray and what's lit up, what's firing. You never know that shit, bro. Unless you're a doctor with the amount of equipment to test these fighters. You never know. Man, Thurman had a bad 4 years. I just saw a picture. I don't know if it's a recent picture, but Thurman looked like he's absolutely a light heavyweight cruiserweight right now. I just can't put Thurman's name in my equation right now because he's heavy. I don't know where he's at right now. Like, instead of people talking about more so about Deontay Wilder coming back to the sport and everything, they really should focus on Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is a big question mark in him coming back to the sport, because he's definitely looking like a light heavy or cruiserweight right now, for real. Andrade would definitely look better versus Charlo. One thing we know about the Charlo, they're usually in shape. Andre was visibly fatigued. Credit to Williams for pushing the pace, though. Absolutely. I can't sit up here and take that and say, well, Andre looked this way against Liam Smith. He's going to go in the same way against Charlo. No, it's a lot more on the line. You know what I'm saying? Really, with the history, the backstory that they have with each other, and also the titles. Of course, he want to be the man. If Andre go in there and defeat Charlo and unify, shit, that he might get the motivation to say, shit, let me try to go for Murata and motherfucking Gennady Golovkin if it's no rematch clause in there. And then for Charlo, same thing. Charlo saying he's now focused on trying to unify the division now. And then he say that. So if Charlo's focused on unifying the division, he's gonna have to come see Andrade, Gennady, Murata. He's gonna see all three of those. He's gonna have to do his best to jump outside his comfort zone, train on a whole nother level to try to make this shit happen. I can tell you someone who has a solid chin, though, is proven. That's Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner is proven that he has certified chin. You know what I'm saying? Austin Trout, Danny Garcia. In my opinion, Deontay Wilder has a solid chin. Seriously. You take a knockout in the 12th round with Tyson Fury, and you take Deontay Wilder's knockdowns. There's no comparison compared to the way Tyson Fury was knocked down, and compared it to Deontay. Deontay has a damn respectable chin, in my opinion. Gervonta Davis has a respectable chin too. Regis Prograis, I give him that. I don't know. Part of me says Errol Spence, man. Errol Spence has so-so, I don't know. Just a little so-so. I give him that. But the chin is neurological, y'all. It has nothing to do with the actual composition on the facial structure that sits below the bottom lip. Has absolutely nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the brainstem and the connection from the brainstem up to the motherfucking your neurological system, which operates throughout your brain. That's where it is a big deal. It has absolutely nothing to do with a chin. You cannot hook up a motherfucking weight set to a chin. You can't build a chin, nothing. But you can build the surrounding areas that absorbs the impact when you are cracked on the jawline or the chin. Vito was a typical case of a young, good fighter allowing a more seasoned fighter to get in his head and totally disrupt his thinking during the fight. Solid point there, Ken. This is what I tell people all the time there, Ken, when it comes to boxing, especially right now, is that take your time with the fighter. Because look, Vito Mielnicki, even though I know his pops and everything, man, he's a cool dude. He's a cool young cat, man. In boxing, you're going to lose. It's nothing wrong with taking a loss. It's just how you lose. Fast tracking a fighter is tough, especially if you Vito. Vito was fighting on TV when he was in high school. It's tough, man. That's a tough motherfucking road. You're in high school and you're fighting on TV. It was only a matter of time before he meet a tough opponent that tested. And that's what happened. He was in there with a grimy, mean James Martin. And like Ken said, he was able to infiltrate. and give Vito his first loss. I think 8-1 now. But I'm gonna tell you like this: fighters really don't have to rush. Like if you're very young in the game, you truly don't have to rush. I'm gonna be honest with you. You truly don't have to rush to a certain spot to get a title, because once you get that title, you're gonna have to defend it. You're gonna have to continue to excel, excel, excel. It's only certain individuals that's built that way and cut from that cloth that can excel like that shit and continue to get the results and put the W in the win column. Along that journey, you're gonna run into some tough competition. That's just the way boxing is. Your people gonna come to you and say, "Hey, you know you won 8 straight fights. We want to put you in here with this opponent right here." So just think about the opponents that ran into Clay Collard. Look at that now. Let me give you this comparison. Quentin Randall, who fought on the Triller card, he defeated Clay Collard before Clay Collard went on his win streak and started collecting O's and started making a name of himself in 2020. He defeated him before that. But then Clay Collard started going in here and just think back when he fought Mike Kopinski. Michael Kopinski, that was his name. He was 19 years old, undefeated. And Clay Collard gave this dude a beating. A beating. So you have to understand that this boxing game, fighters might need to understand, pace yourselves if that's who you are. And it's a double-edged sword. Some fighters want to hurry up and put divisions away and become multi-division champion early. So by the time, they start building up their Wall Street and what their brand and what their stock is worth, if they take that L, they still can make it transparent with just 2 fights. They can go there and pick up another W and then, pick up another one, and they right back in the picture. They still getting paid. As of some fighters, that it's tough to be fighting on TV that early when your record is 1-2-0, 3-0, and continue to fight hard fights. You're gonna have to take some time off and fight some regionals, like on some fight cards and some with a different type of opponent that's not as in the ranking system, top tier. Get a couple of wins that way. Continue to put those fillers in there while fighting tough competition. You just can't say I'm gonna fight them but killers, because you're gonna run into a killer. You're gonna get burnt out. You're gonna continue to train hard as you can to outdo yourself last time, and your body's gonna break down on you without you having anything to do with it. It's gonna say, I can't go. And you're gonna be asking yourself, like, damn, why I can't get off? Why I can't get off? And that's gonna be why, because you're constantly in training camp, trying to be 150, 200%. You're trying to make that money. And I'm trying to tell you, in some cases, take your time, be methodical about it, be business orientated, and be smart. Be smart about this boxing game. Learn a different way on how to make money and bring people, allow yourself to somehow, be business orientated too, to make money while you're sleeping. Mitch says Charlos have solid chins. Bruh, Wiz like a caveman. You could hit him with the truck. Who you talking about? Let me see. Who you talking about, Alan? We is like a caveman. You could hit him with a truck. I'm not sure who you talking about. You talking about AJ? I'm not sure who you talking about. Broner. Okay, yeah, Broner. Broner has a respect for certified chin, man. That's why people still give Broner the respect, because they feel that he's undisciplined in between fights. But yet, the dudes ain't in there knocking him out. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter wasn't able to knock him out. Mikey Garcia wasn't able to knock him out. Manny Pacquiao, had him wobble a little bit. He wasn't able to knock him out. Marcus Madonna with the fight that everybody talk about, which I feel is one of Adrian Broner's better fights. Because during that time, the Eye of the Storm, Adrian Broner, he made a commitment all of Cincinnati. If it ever would have been a fight that he said I did it for the hood, it was when he was in the early rounds with Marcus Madonna, knowing where he came from and how hard it was and how tough he was. That was the fight, because Broner, he fought his motherfucking ass off to get back in that motherfucking fight. He fought his ass off. That was a damn good fight. McGill and Triple G have solid chins. Yeah, McGill definitely. Triple G has proven to have a solid chin. Indeed. I agree. It's the people up here that have solid chins. They definitely. Clay Collard went on a prospect bashing spree. Yeah, he did. But those prospects was up and coming. Like, if you look at Clay Collard's record comparable to those prospects, I mean, Clay Collard was a mixed martial artist, boxer, mixed martial artist. These were strictly boxers that he was going in there with. So you had to give Clay Collard the salute when he was winning. Now, of course, with Clay Collard, they're gonna start saying, "Okay, Clay, you keep on winning. We're gonna put you in here with him. We're gonna put you in here with him." The same thing they're gonna do with Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga is gonna go through the same shit. They're gonna say, "Look, you knocking cats out in this round, that round. You know what I'm saying? All of it looks like a one to me, straight up and down. Let's put you in here with this person." I'm not saying he's gonna fail. I'm just saying right now they're looking at Berlanga like shit. First round, shit. You know, Elvis Rodriguez. Elvis Rodriguez is another fighter that went the distance with a guy who can box. They're gonna continue to put Elvis Rodriguez in there with tough opponents. I'm not sure what they're gonna look at as far as him going the distance with this guy, but you run into some Mexican fighters that are tough ass fighters. You can't knock them out. You can't knock them out. So Edgar Berlanga might get to a point where he's not knocking people out anymore, but people are gonna look at him like every time he stepped through the ropes, we want to see you close this motherfucker out in one round. And then they're gonna complain about it. Berlanga needs to fight better competition. He's knocking motherfuckers out in one round. And so it's love and hate and shit. They're gonna love to see you go in there and get it done, but yet they want you to increase your competition. But I like how you phrased that, Andrew. Andrew said Clay Collard went on a prospect bashing spree. He said a prospect bashing spree. Damn. That kind of gives me that visual Clay walking through the streets of New York and just cracking motherfuckers with a bat. Because it's so crowded, right? It's so crowded, foot traffic and shit. Motherfuckers just smacking motherfucker with a bat. Hold up, I got to get me some nasal spray. Hold on for a second, y'all. All right. Alex in the building. Salute to you, bro. What's good? What's up? What's up? Salute to WCS in the chat, man. Boo Boo Andre didn't look good last night. Charlo and Triple G give him a lot of problems. Ben just wanted to make some extra cash fighting Paul. We've been talking about that with the Andre, and we'll have to see his next fight. You know, the pretty much come back to this conclusion on, is he breaking? I don't know. I mean, he hasn't been active enough to say he's breaking down or shit like that. I just think it was one of the hiatuses. I just think it was one of those times where, you know, he's been out the ring for a while and coming back in against his opponent. You never know. I'm definitely not going to make excuses for him, but I'm assuming he's not going to look like that in his next fight. I'm just being honest with myself. As far as Ben Askren, yeah, we talked about this a lot. Ben Askren, man, it's just the way he felt down. Okay, like, let's say, for instance, in boxing, he was to stiffen up the way he did in boxing and hit the canvas like that. I think in boxing in general, they would look at it like, okay, who's the fighter? Because the referee has a familiarity with the fighter, right? And certain fights they'll let go on. Like, say, for instance, Gotti Ward. Like, they knew that motherfuckers was going to be landing bombs, and they let the fight go on. They let the fans get a show. Ben Askren dropping down, stiffening up the way he did, I think in boxing on another platform, they might have stopped the fight. But in this scenario right here, sometimes the referee, they can be savages too. The referee can look at a shot and say, "Man, I know that didn't motherfucking hurt you like that." And then you know, for the promotion is trying to give people what their money's worth, you know, get their money's worth. So the referee is like, okay, I understand what the promotion's trying to do, and I'm understanding what I'm looking at visually. So the referee might have want to provide Ben Askren enough time. But one thing God blessed us with the understanding that we can selectively forget shit, and we can be pretentious individuals. That means we can fake it when we choose to. If he just only blessed us with being able to read minds, I think the world would be a better place. Since we can't read minds, we can only take what the individual is attempting to portray to us, whether it be fake or real. And Ben Askren, in my opinion, he's taking harder shots off his back from Robbie Lawler, and he wasn't knocked out. But for the referee to stop the fight like that just because it was after 12 o'clock and shit like that, I'm like, nah, be consistent. William Jackson was knocked down twice. The second time he turned around and took a knee. Michael Stafford put the towel on the apron. He's looking out for his fighter. But goddamn it, give it up for Jackson. Jackson was like tough as fuck. He hadn't been in the ring since 2017. And this cat went in there and fought a guy who just fought last year. He just defeated a fighter last year who was undefeated, Quentin Randall. I got to give it up for William Jackson for taking the punishment, you know, because when you out the ring for a while, yeah, they're going to go to the body. And when he turned around and took a knee, a delayed reaction, you know, Mike was just looking out for his fighter. But Jackson was like, I'm good. The ref, he ignored it, and he let them fight on, as if Mike never put the towel up on the ring. I guess they needed Mark Breland up on that motherfucker. Mark is not going to throw the towel so you can't see it. He going to throw that motherfucker in the center of the ring, man. Shit. D Hard is like Jamel Charlo, Alex. Wilder KO streak is crazy. Yeah, for sure. Wilder KO streak, man. 41, man. And, all his opposition. It's just crazy. It's sick. It's always going to be sick. Warriors did a pretty good job of boxing and using his angles, but no power to get him out of there. It's boxing at the end of the day. That's the same thing they were saying about Conor Benn too. When they say Conor Benn, does he have power? You know what I'm saying? They look, that's the same shit they saying about Shakur Stevenson. But it's pick your poison when you talk about these boxers who don't have knockout power. You know what I'm saying? I mean, perfect example. If you want to use Vasyl Lomachenko, who I used to tell people, I say Vasyl Lomachenko don't have knockout power, but he will work up to the knockout. He will put pressure on you enough to the point where that word fatigue sets in, and fatigue will bring a knockout. So he's saying, well, Teofimo Lopez, he didn't drop Lomachenko or he didn't knock him down. True enough. But once again, styles are absolutely important. Because people was looking for Teofimo Lopez to do the same thing he did to Comey to Lomachenko. It didn't happen that way. So with these fighters who they saying don't have power, it all depends, man, on how they break their opponent down. Every boxer that's in the game doesn't have 1 punch knockout power. But every boxer in the game isn't Paulie Malignaggi. Seriously. Every boxer in the game doesn't walk in the ring, your opponent looking at you like, okay, he doesn't have power, won't have anything to worry about. Yes, you do. What you have to worry about is being outboxed. I've watched Paulie Malignaggi at bare knuckle fighting outbox Artem Lobov. And once again, I totally understand that Artem Lobov is a mixed martial artist. But hear me out. Having the opportunity to cover multiple combat sports, it allows you to see a different dynamic in the punching delivery. Paulie Malignaggi broke his hand early in the first round. He didn't quit, and he literally beat Artem Lobov using one motherfucking hand, his left hand. Jab, jab. Because when it comes down to the fighting in general, in bare knuckle, mixed martial artists can still use a slight of their grappling ability to get in on the clinch, because in bare knuckles, they allow you to use one hand to tie up a necktie at the back of the neck, and you can punch your opponent while holding your opponent's head. All right, that's one of the rules in bare knuckles. What Paulie Malignaggi with no power was able to do was touch Artem Lobov up so much he had him bleeding. And Paulie doesn't have power like this. This is bare knuckle fighting, y'all. It all depends on how you break your opponent down. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I got mad respect for Paulie, regardless of what people say about his talking and all this other shit. This boxing game is tough to maintain a loyal group or a circle around you that supports you regardless, in good or bad. Sometimes you have people abandoning you just off little shit. Paulie Malignaggi showed that from the boxing ring to bare knuckles, an individual who's not even considered to be a hard-hitting puncher, he can go in there and outbox a mixed martial artist. Even though Artem Lobov have short arms and he was at a disadvantage, Paulie broke his hand. He didn't quit. He fought to the final bell with one motherfucking hand, and he wasn't bullshitting. Like, Paulie was actually motherfucking showing his boxing prowess. I was like, shit. This nigga goddamn just jabbed the shit out of Lobov for the entire fight. And he did it with boxing fundamentals. I got to give him his props, dog. I have to. There's a difference with genuine knockout power and someone who just hits you hard and beats you to the mental submission. True, that's a good point, Alan. There's a difference between genuine knockout power and someone who just hits you hard and beats you to the mental submission. However they choose to do it, once again, it depends on the boxer themselves. The way some of these fighters put together combinations and they have that sting on the left and the right, I mean, that's going to weigh on you. And then also you have to look at where they're placing their punches. You know what I'm saying? Where? I mean, are they going to the body? The body fatigues a fighter. It takes a lot of energy to prepare for a body attack, especially when they're hitting you and you feel it, but you plan it off, and then you're preparing for the body, and then they go up top and they catch you. You're on wobbly legs. Why? Because you're fatigued and tired already, man. Some fighters may not have one hitter quitter power, but you can still see that their shots are having immediate effect on their opponents. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well said. Yes, sir. I agree. Especially when you're watching in person. Like let's say Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz, for instance. People say, oh, Leo Santa Cruz is whooping his ass. Y'all did not hear the punches that was landing for Gervonta Davis and how Leo Santa Cruz began to slow down and he wasn't pushing the pace forward as aggressive as he was earlier. And you slowly, gradually start to see Leo Santa Cruz taking a step back and being more cautious in opening up to Gervonta Davis. Look back at the fight now. Look back at how Gervonta was pulling. He was pulling that left uppercut. He was setting up Leo Santa Cruz and he was pulling it. He was thinking. You can tell he was thinking. Because the reason why he was pulling it, because Leo Santa Cruz had changed up his approach. He was all about pressing forward until he started feeling Gervonta punches coming on. Now Gervonta thinking, okay, Leo's going to charge in with those 3, 4, 5 punch combinations, and I'm going to hit his ass with this uppercut. But see, when he thought Leo Santa Cruz was going to do it, Leo changed his mind and said, no, I'll pass on that shit. And you'll see Tank Davis pulling that left uppercut. He had to put it back in the holster. Alex said, WCS, can you see Ennis Boots taking over the welterweight division in the near future? Or is it too soon to talk about? It's definitely too soon. But what you asked me there, Alex, was, can you see Ennis Boots taking over? I can see him doing a lot of things. Seeing doesn't necessarily mean right now, actively, currently. But the way Boots looked in there against Sergey Lipinets, no way, no how I'm saying he's the next Roy Jones. No way, no how I'm saying he will beat everybody that has a belt at a freaking welterweight. I'm not saying that. But what I can attest to is the fact that he's talented. I like how he was like, God damn it, Boots Ennis was motherfucking mixing some of that magic juice. Like he was serving that shit up to the boxing audience of that sweet science. You know how they had down here in the South, how they had the crunk juice? Motherfucking Boots Ennis had motherfucking drinking crunk juice when he was putting this shit together against Sergey. I was like, shit. I was calling up Lil John. Lil John, you see Boots Ennis up here? He got that crunk juice going on, dog. I'm like, this. Look, he was having a field day on Lipinets because, once again, stylistically, it was accessible for him to have success like that. I believe he's going to be a world champion, period. That I will prognosticate. But right now, with him taking over, of course we want to see him fight the big names. But I'm not going to tell you he'll go in there and dog walk Crawford. I'm not saying he'll go in there and have a field day with Errol Spence. But I can tell you the easiest link out of those 3 champions is your Yordenis Ugas. Will he get a fight with your Yordenis Ugas? I seriously doubt it. Because Ugas is not going to have a belt. Whoever Ugas fights in between, I'm thinking if it's Spence, okay, cool. But anyway, I would like to see Jerome Ennis mix it up. If the welterweight want to mix up boxing, especially, when it comes down to the PBC side of the house. I'm not sure Al Heyman and whoever makes those decisions will slide Bruce Ennis into a position with Errol Spence, holding the WBC and the IBF title. A part of me is saying, like, it'll be good to get the belts over there. But let's just say, right? Let's just say Udenis Ugas, who's on the right side of the street, he gets the motherfucking shot with Ennis. Ennis beats Boots. So are you going to allow Errol Spence and Boots to fight? Are you going to allow that shit to happen? Or are you going to see if it's too tough for a fight? Or are you going to say, oh, well, guess what? Jerome Ennis, we're going to try to put you over there to fight Crawford. And then if you're able to defeat Crawford, then we'll bring all the belts and fight for everything. Just like the UK is trying to do with the heavyweight division. You feel me? Like the same thing. If they can send a gopher, see, they can't send you Udenis Ugas over there to fight Crawford because it's too much of an easier fight. They know Crawford's gonna beat Ugas, man, for that WBA title. But if they put Jerome Ennis into the equation and he's on the right side of the street to go fight Crawford, then they may somehow, some way believe they're going to get their results because Jerome Ennis is that good of a boxer right now. You know what I'm saying? So they say, okay, send the messenger over there. You know what I'm saying? See him over there first to see if he's able to defeat Crawford. If he's able to pick up that WBO strap, guess what? It's an all PBC affair, shawty. We're gonna make that fight. Jerome Ennis versus Errol Spence. We're gonna make a whole lot of money. Is it gonna work out like that? I don't fucking know. But doesn't it have some merit? It does, in my opinion. Bruce in the building. What's good with you, Bruce? Salute WCS and family. Salute to you, bro. Mitch say Andrade didn't look his best by any means, but we can't forget how diminished Triple G has looked his last few fights. I say Andrade is 55-45 over Triple G at this point. I have Charlo beating them both. Solid. When it comes to me, I've always made a point about Gennady Golovkin, Little G. I always said, even when Jim Lampley was hyping his ass up, I always said that he was overrated. Now peep this, how people sit up here. I remember when they was telling me that I was prejudiced and shit, and European fighters. I was saying, listen, Triple G has been in the same division, right? So I'm looking for him to do something, extraordinary. Like, I want to see him challenge himself. I just didn't look at his style and see anything special about it. I just see him as a fighter that's tough. He has a respectable beard. And I'm waiting for him to fight the top level competition. So he stepped in there with Canelo and he showed he was tough and he showed he can go the distance. Boom, let's do a rematch. And he requested the Mexican style. He got it and he didn't do shit with it. He lost. Even when Jim Lampley was hyping his ass up and Daniel Jacobs shut down his 23 fight win streak, I say, man, he's not this big, huge, great boxer people putting him out to be. But all Triple G is trying to do is, oh, man, I'm the best middleweight ever. I beat Bernard Hopkins' record and all this other shit. No one is never going to look. When it comes to you, Gennady Golovkin, they're not going to put you over B-Hop. Because B-Hop in the ring with you, he is a motherfucking professor. He will outthink you every round, every minute of the bout. He's going to try to outthink you. He's just that guy. He's made some of these fights that's supposed to be hard look easy. I always thought Triple G was motherfucking overrated, in my opinion. And when it comes to the Demetrius Andrade going in there against an older Gennady Golovkin, I agree with your 55-45 assessment for sure. I do. I agree with that. I mean, Gennady Golovkin, as long as he sits out, the older he's getting. The longer he sits out, the older he's getting. Just like Vasyl Lomachenko. He's not as old as Gennady Golovkin, But Vasyl Lomachenko has a lot of wear and tear in his body from the AMs. So he may be 32 years old, 33, Vasyl. But in boxing years, he's probably 43, 45. Can't say Ennis is on his way to a title shot, but I would like for him to find out about himself in a 12-round fight. So let me ask you this, Ken. If you want him to find out about himself in a 12-round fight, he's definitely have to step up the competition to somewhat to the likes of a Danny Garcia. Unfortunately, Danny Garcia talking about moving to 154, right? But he have to step in there with the name of Danny Garcia, because Danny Garcia has shown that he can go the distance with tough opponents, and also, opponents that has pretty decent power and can box their ass off. I would say Danny Garcia or Sean Porter. But Sean Porter's up here talking about he'll never fight Jerome Ennis. I don't know what I'm listening to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm listening. I send him a text. I say, what Ken said he would like to see you fight someone to test your 12-round, acclimation, your durability. It's only like two names in the welterweight division that'll give us what we're looking for. That still has, that branding power as a Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. Real talk. Who else? Who else up there? Mikey? Mikey might fuck around and take a fight with Jerome Ennis and take his second loss and stop. Because from what I saw with Sergey Lipinets, Jerome Ennis is not going to fight Mikey Garcia like Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to do it, man. The way he was putting together punches, he's not going to do it. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Mikey, because Mikey, along with his hair, he has a pretty solid guard. So he protects himself very well. But also, Mikey's getting older too. So one or two things that happen. We can see if Jerome Ennis is really this boxing magician, that he can go in there and put his punch combinations together to different parts of Mikey's body, open up the guard a little bit, and set him up for a KO after breaking him down throughout the fight. We don't know. But I will say this, as far as what you saying, Sir Ken, is, at the welterweight division, a fighter that two names that we know that we can put in there that'll go the distance with Jerome Ennis supposedly would definitely be the Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. But the motherfuckers up there talking about, Sean Porter say, I don't want to do it. I'm never going to fight Jerome Ennis. So who else is that leaves? We don't know Virgil Ortiz. I don't think Virgil Ortiz, if Virgil Ortiz stepping up with Jerome Ennis, that'd be a good fight. I think it's too much for him right now, though. You do the very best. You do the very best, and let history rate the amongst of all-time greats. True words. True words. I'm not saying a fighter cannot say that they're the best. Like, there was a point in time, where Carissa Shields was saying she was the GOAT and people was frowning upon it. But now, looking at her credentials and everything, what more can you ask? Some fighters that when Roy Jones is on that, Roy Jones is saying, he's one of the greatest. James Toney. These fighters were sitting up here saying, I'm one of the greatest, because they felt that what they was able to accomplish in the sport of boxing placed them on that pedestal of notoriety. So I can understand it. But to your point, Bruce, is let and allow the boxing masses and those top boxing figures bring your name into the equation when these boxing topics come up. Who do you believe is right now in the last 10 years? Who do you think is some of the greatest fighters? And they have these boxing topics. I wish we had it more. I've mentioned this before. I wish we had a designated television program um, outside of all this YouTube scatter. You know what I'm saying? This Facebook scatter. It'll be good if we had a program to have a roundtable of individuals, to speak on boxing and MMA just like they speak on hip hop. It'll be good, but globally, boxing people will, the boxing fans may tune into it, but it's according to who you're going to have speaking on the subject. It has to bring interest. It has to be, some drama, but yet some solid talking points. It has to be something for people to tune in and get an education about. And not only a boxing channel to talk about the new school, but looking at old reels and spinning the reels, talking about old fights, and how important it is today. Compare an old fight to a new fight. Compare old fighter to a new fighter. Also talk about how boxing has changed. All that shit. I like for him to get a chance to sharpen his tools in the tool bags before Spencer Crawford. Well, if you want him to go, somewhere and venture off in the 12th round, who would it be up in welterweight? Because it's gonna be a lot of people saying he would absolutely stop a lot of people that's beneath that top tier. We don't know about Urdinas Ugas. Can Urdinas Ugas take him into the 12th round? Who am I to even mention Pacquiao's name in the same sentence as Ennis? It'll be lunacy. It'll be lunacy for me to do this shit. I can't bring Manny Pacquiao in there. I think right now with the way he looked against Sergey, man, he'll fuck Manny Pacquiao up. Mike will be better off taking a fight with Crawford opposed to getting in with Ennis. At least Crawford has a title. We know Mike's goal is to get that 5th division title. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Mikey Division being a 4th division champion with only one loss to considerably, one of the top pound for pound guys. Not considerably, he is one of the top pound for pound guys in the world. It was a win-win for Mikey Garcia to take a first L against Errol Spence by going the distance. He went the distance, bro. This man moved up from 35 all the way up to 47. And I always have to explain this. No, he did not move from 40 to 47. He took a fight at 35 and then moved up to 47. So therefore, what he was able to accomplish by going the distance, when people thought Spence was just going to destroy him, it was a win-win situation for Mikey. But I agree with Mitch said. If he's able to get a shot at Crawford, who has the WBO world title, why not? I seriously doubt right now that Mikey Garcia can fuck with Terrence Crawford. Mark my word on this. Mikey Garcia, if he gets a championship at a 5th division, it's going to be the regular title. It's going to be the regular title. It's going to be something like that. For him to get a super title, I can't see him getting a shot. I don't know, man. This boxing shit, I don't know how to put the predictions out there no more because I'm bad at that shit. Because people want to throw bacon out there. They want to throw motherfucking raw pork. They want to throw some motherfucking alligator meat. That's what they do when they put topics out here in the water for media to deal with and nibble on and say, oh, this fight happened. And then turn around and somebody totally different. But I don't even know if Mikey's going to get an opportunity. If by chance he's able to step in there with Crawford, it'll be a good fight, but I don't see him fucking with Crawford. I really don't. But I think, his 5th division is going to come just like Gervonta Davis is doing. Gervonta Davis is about to contest at 140 with another secondary title, y'all. Come on, bro. Say what you want, man. He's about to be a 3-division champion with secondary title at 135 and 140. Tony and Tyson were right when they said they were the best of their time. But history has told us they were right in the hall. They were right in the all-time pictures. Based off their performance, absolutely. Ennis needs 2 more gatekeepers before Crawford and Spence. Josecito first. Now we're talking. Josecito first, then Thurman would be my pick. I had the first half. Only if you're talking about gatekeepers. Thurman is not a gatekeeper. Stop it, bro. See, I'll tell you, Mitch be talking his shit. Sometimes you just goddamn let them keys run amok sometime, dog. How is Thurman a gatekeeper, bro? Ennis can stop both. Keith Thurman is no walk in the park. Like, I like Josecito Lopez fighting Jerome Ennis. But a big part of me, man, I don't know, man. Josecito Lopez, I like everything about his freaking boxing, the way he boxed, man. But a part of me is like, goddamn, Jerome Ennis can box just as good. And I don't see, comparable to what Ken said earlier. Can Josecito Lopez be the one to take Jerome Ennis the distance? I don't fucking know, man. A part of me saying Jerome might stop Josecito Lopez, man. Even though he looked good against Santiago. God damn. Josecito looked good against Santiago. You know what I'm saying? He looked damn solid. But a part of me is saying right now, the way Ennis is arrived on the scene, I think he might stop Josecito Lopez. But Keith Thurman, one loss, former unified welterweight champion, Mitch is calling him a gatekeeper. That is just disrespectful, dog. That's just disrespectful, man. Next, y'all gonna be calling my man Deontay Wilder gatekeeper. Come on, bro. Keith Thurman has not even fought since Manny Pacquiao. How can he be a gatekeeper, man? If you don't self-promote, who else will do it better? Who else would do it better? Today, nobody is the man. Field is wide open. And speaking about that, Bruce, about the field being wide open, I mentioned this several times that fighters need to switch, especially black fighters. Honestly, we always gonna be who we are. We're gonna be about that culture. We're gonna be all that shit. But you got to learn a way on how to grab hold of the people. You got to be talkative. You can't just say, man, I ain't want to fuck with them. Well, if you think you're gonna get all your money and you're just more concerned about promotion money, right? Well, what about all the sponsorship money you can get if you was actually doing more things, doing more things for the community and putting your face out there? You might have brands reach out to you and say, you know what, we want to support you. I think that's a big deal of what Teofimo Lopez is doing. Team Lopez is out here branding themselves. You seeing pictures all over the fucking place with Triller, all over the place. And then you're seeing some of the black fighters that's just as popular. They don't care about all that branding shit. They just want to take pictures wherever they take them, and that's it. I mean, the man is taking boxing pictures once again, because there'd be certain people that say I don't know shit about boxing and MMA. Teofimo Lopez is taking boxing pictures, y'all. I'm not gonna bring up all the motherfucking, man. Come on, man. You know what? Y'all don't fuck around. See, like, man, y'all don't understand what I'm talking about when I say, the black fighters. We know about the culture. We know about this shit, bro. But when it comes to branding yourself as a fighter, Teofimo Lopez is out here doing boxing shit. Okay? Allow me to give you an example of boxing shit so people can tune in. Look, he only has 600K followers, dog. He don't have no Ryan Garcia 8 million. He has 600K, but yet he's everywhere. So let me show you something right quick. Like, all right, just be patient. Let me show you Tio. Let me show you Teofimo's Instagram account. And I'm not even the one that really deals with these numbers and shit all on IG, because I tell you like this: if you had 600K followers that really fuck with you every day, it'd be a lot of millionaires in boxing for real. If Teal say, "Hey, can my 600K followers, can all of you donate $1? Can you donate from starting Monday? Can you donate $1 to me?" That's 600K, right? You get the picture. Look at this IG account. Of course, this is last night. I saw, them. They go the Ric Flair picture. I saw when they was taking that. He's doing boxing shit. This is boxing shit. Look at this. This is boxing shit right here. Good picture. Good solid picture. Branding yourself. Not in jeans, not at the club, I know, look, my people, I'm not criticizing you, man. I'm black. And come on, I'm not. I'm just saying you have to do something more for a different audience to support you. Here is the face off that everybody was talking about. Look, 204K. They tuned into that shit. Here go Teofimo doing some more boxing shit, hitting this motherfucking bag. Boxing shit, dog. Branding yourself with boxing shit. He's hitting a damn bag, that you can find at some of these recreational whatever entertainment. Anyway, here's another one. Him talking to Cambosis. Him signing boxing gloves. Listen, I'm going to tell you one thing that you might not know about T.O., right? T.O. is not accessible as he was before. I'm just going to be honest with you. He has a new PR person that is changing everything about the way he do business. That's why his Instagram is strictly boxing shit. Gloves, UFC training facility, ring, gloves, training, no gym parking at the gym. Him and his dad playing around. Commercial shit, branding, promoting. Look at his. This is his IG boxing shit. Have you figured out the change and the scope of what World Combat Sports is talking about? Because when I be trying to tell people it's bigger than the microphone, they don't try to listen. You have to communicate with people offset and understand what's going on. Look at how he's changed his shit around, y'all. Look at how they cleaned up and maintenance and sanitized his IG account. Everything is fucking boxing. Look at this. In the ring, boxing, working out. It's none of his shit trying on clothes. Him in the tub, him running with his pops. All this shit, bro. He has a new PR person, bro. Look at this. Boxing, Oscar De La Hoya, the titles. Promoting somebody, some brand of drink. Doing promo for Triller, whatever. Lomachenko, the belts, all that. You get the picture. I'm done. If you don't understand what I'm talking about when I'm saying black fighters need to understand what he's doing and jump out the comfort zone, look how he's cleaned up his motherfucking IG because he has a new PR team. Right? So what they're doing is they're taking him to a whole nother level, just like Bruce and a couple other people was talking about, to brand him differently, to give him that money behind the scenes. You can't do that shit just putting pictures and you out to eat at the restaurant, you taking a picture of your meal. Like this look, T.O. has changed the motherfucking scope on how he's branding himself to make money to a larger audience. It doesn't matter how many people get on here and talk shit about him. I just showed you what I knew that was going on behind the scenes. I show you what I know right now. He's proven it to you. It ain't no shit about his family on IG like that. He has his father, himself, and everything is boxing, 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 boxing. Don't complain about what's going on with him if you're not willing to go to the same detail to do the shit yourself. Seriously. I mean, somebody should take a look at what's going on. I just showed you what's been out there for a minute. He has a new PR person. He won the titles from Lomachenko, and all his shit is strictly what he's doing right now in life. Salute WCS. Ennis is ready. Everybody he needs to be in the best. I wouldn't say Ennis isn't ready. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say he isn't ready, but I would like to see him against a top name in the welterweight division. It's a hard matchup to make. I mean, Boots has to get the gift in the ring. And a lot of guys don't need a possible L right now trying to get a title shot themselves. I agree with that. I agree with that in the sense where, take your time. Take your time. Boots Ennis is 23 years old. 27 victories. 0 defeats, bro. Take your motherfucking time. Now, of course, that I have to be cautious, and understanding that Boots Ennis is at the top of the damn motherfucking tier right now in the welterweight division. So he can't just hang out. People don't want to see him fight somebody good. That's what happened when you finally get that moment. And Boots has taken his time early in his career, all the way up till he fought Yurbov. Once he fought Yurbov, he settled into his game, and he said, "Okay, from here on out, boom, boom, boom. This is where I'm going." He has 27 victories now. He's 23 years old. Errol Spence, he's in his 30s already, and Boots Ennis has just as many wins as Errol Spence without the titles. But Boots is 23 years old. It's crazy, man. Shout out to Boots. Boots is on deck. Mitt say Mikey and Danny Garcia and Thurman should be there for Ennis. Unfortunately, he'll probably face Josecito Lopez or Castillo Clayton. I like those two. Now once again, are we gonna have an early fight? I like to see those two. I'm not really worried about Ennis going the distance. Like, if you're able to go in there and get your shit done, get it done. Because not too many people are pushing for Edgar Berlanga. Well, I take that back. They are. They pushing for him to lead the first round. First round, 2, 3, 4. They want to see how Edgar Berlanga look in the 6th or 7th round when he's in there with a tough opponent. I take that back. They are looking for him to do that. But fuck it. Goddamn, Ennis, do what you need to do, man. Continue to pack. Michael Williams Jr., continue to do what you're going to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Methodically plan this process out and make as much money as you possibly can. Because you can't say boxing is a business first, but yet you don't want the boxers thinking in a business mindset. But then again, it is a contradiction that goes along with that. Because with certain fighters, they're going to look at it like this. I'm going to make as much money as possible, find somebody that's not as competitive as a top-tier opponent. But I'm going to try to make the most money. So therefore, you have to take in consideration, you go on the Duck Masters Coalition list. Like, if you duck in opposition that's there for you, just because you're saying, oh, I can make the same amount of money fighting this person, it's going to run out. You're going to have to fight somebody with a belt. You're going to have to fight the higher level competition. Else people are going to say, fuck it. He's just ducking. He's on Duck Masters Coalition. That's it. Ennis is special. Thurman, Peter, Bud, Spence better. Not ducking. Ennis has power, boxing skills, and elite athleticism. All that. And, I hope Ennis brand himself differently. Because What I'm not gonna do is I'm not putting fighters out here. See, one thing about media will make the grass move. The words that you say will make the grass move, and you have the snakes to come out and try to influence your word on what you're talking about. That's what happened with media. Like, it's a lot of people don't understand that on this YouTube shit, the viewership extends a lot further than what you think, especially when you have a website, especially when you are here on site and you're doing interviews. A lot more people know you than you think, so the word get out. So you're gonna have people talking about certain aspects of boxing and will try to influence you. Right now, it's people talking big about Bruce Ennis, right? But when I'm out on the field and I'm running, people that's done looked at the show, it might be an individual that strike up a conversation with you, and they want to talk about this live right here, and there'll be one of the ones that's on here that you don't know. They'll be talking to you, say, "Well, do you think Ennis? You think he's ready for Bud or Spence?" And you don't even know who the fuck they are. They could be the same person that's right here on this live. I'm real talk. And then they're coming here differently, and they'll come back on here and say, "Well, I don't know, man. You say one thing this day and you say one thing the next." And I'm saying I'm human, but what the fuck you talking about? Well, you said this, and this. I'm telling you, man, that shit happens, bro. I've had conversations with people that's up here talking boxing with me. And then they'll say, "Man, I respect that, man. I respect what you do. I tuned into your lives before." I say, "So who are you?" They'll tell me who they are. I say, "Man, why the fuck you carrying a conversation with me talking about boxing and you ain't let me know who you are? You like this a filling out process or something?" Thurman doesn't have it anymore. He hasn't won a fight in almost 3 years. Big dog. Like I said before, bro, you have to watch your language, man, especially here when I'm actually paying attention. I mean, it's all about language, dog. Listen, you said Thurman hasn't won. That's just like people saying Deontay Wilder hasn't fought since February 22nd. Nor has Tyson Fury, y'all. What are you saying he hasn't won? He hasn't fought. Big dog, he hasn't fought, bro. I can see if I can see if Thurman took 2 fights since the Pacquiao and he lost, but Thurman hasn't been back in the ring to split the ropes, bro. Come on, big dog. You know I'm telling the truth, bro. I'm telling the truth, man. Bruce said Triller was entertaining as hell. Yeah, man. Like I said before, people just think about the mic, but goddamn it, I had credentials to that bitch. I told you when boxing kicked back up, one of my interests is to start attending the fights. And 2020 is kicked off real good. So, just stay tuned, man. With COVID and everything, I hope this shit opens up more and more so we can get some one-on-one, face-to-face interviews. You know what I'm saying? I'm an older cat in the game, so everybody's not going to be as welcoming as somebody who's been in the game 10 years. People say I've been on YouTube 20 years. I'm gonna tell you something that's real life. That's true. I didn't do a Facebook Live, and you can look on my face. I didn't do a Facebook Live to 2018. I wasn't on this shit. I asked my boy, shout out to Justin, he'll tell you. I asked my boy Justin, we was talking on the phone, and he was telling me he was doing live. I say, "So what you doing this live shit for? Like what's that?" And then we went through it. I said, "Man, okay, I'm gonna do it." I said, "How the fuck I do it again?" I wasn't on this shit like that. So anything you hear about me being on YouTube live and all this shit for 20 years, find a video that goes 20 years back. Find a video that goes 10 years back. That's all I'm saying. But don't worry about what I do. Just watch what I do. Don't worry about it. Just watch. Because, I try to get, I don't know if y'all was looking at my IG, But I try to give y'all behind the scene exclusive of them, the pre-fight, the pre-card setup at Mercedes Benz and shit like that. Whether you appreciate it or not, it's all good. I just did it for the World Combat Sports supporters. Mitch, I do think the Thurman is a gatekeeper. He is absolutely not a gatekeeper. Look, look at it this way, Mitch. What is the criteria you're basing the gatekeeper on? Seriously, what is the criteria? If you had to give 3 bullet points per the Microsoft spreadsheet, right? What is three points of reference that is criteria to designate someone as a gatekeeper? Because if Thurman was undefeated when he faced Pacquiao, and at one point in time he's the former unified champion in welterweight, he loses once. How can you be keeping anything? He hasn't had the opportunity to keep anything because he was the unified champion. So what is he keeping? Danny Garcia has been keeping. He's been holding down a slot. Danny Garcia has fought Sean Porter, a top name. He didn't get it done. And then he went up here and fought Adrian Granados, just to stay active. And then Danny Garcia steps in there with Errol Spence. On his return, he loses. But yet Danny Garcia is still one of those names at the top of the list. Danny Garcia, in my opinion, is a gatekeeper. You know why? Because we're up here basically insinuating that Jerome Ennis, on the conversation, that Ken mentioned earlier, we're up here talking about Jerome Ennis should fight somebody to take him to the 12th round to give him that experience. Who do we talk about? Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. What about Sean Porter? Sean Porter had multiple losses. Is Sean Porter a gatekeeper because he lost to Errol Spence? Because Sean Porter has lost to some big names now. He's lost to Kell Brook, he's lost to Keith Thurman, and he lost to Errol Spence. Is Sean Porter a gatekeeper right now? Because he fought for the vacant title against Danny Garcia, but he couldn't retain it when he fought with Errol Spence. He has more losses than Thurman. Who's the gatekeeper? You'll figure it out. I do not think Thurman is a gatekeeper. It's well said, sad, but it will. At Bruce Goes Facts, Triller is changing the game with real entertainment. Triller doing big things, man. It has people behind him in the music industry. It was quite exciting seeing them performers out there, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. It was pretty interesting seeing them up close. Seeing them perform. I really wish, the OGs would have performed in person, but I guess Triller say, man, we ain't coming out with millions of dollars to pay E40, Short Dog, and motherfucking Ice Cube and Snoop. And Snoop ain't, what Snoop gonna get paid? Snoop is co-owner of that motherfucker. What he gonna get paid? Josecito is experienced enough and his power is legit. He also has a true welterweight. He also is a true welterweight, unlike Mo Hooker and Lipinets. Good step up fight for Ennis. Definitely. Like I said, I got mad respect for Josecito Lopez, man. He stopped a fighter that haven't been stopped before in Santiago. Santana. I was saying Santiago. It was Santana. Let me see something. I'll take that back. He has been stopped. What was what they were saying about him? What was it? It wasn't the first time he been stopped. What was the first? Oh, he was a fighter that doesn't get stopped often. Okay, he had losses, but he doesn't get stopped often. There you go. Because Santana had nine losses. He was 25 victories, 9 losses, 1 draw, 12 knockouts. So I had to do my research, y'all. I can't give everything off the top. But yeah, he doesn't get stopped often. Very tough fighter. Oscar was unhinged. They said unhinged. Oscar was unhinged. Snoop got a gift, and everyone on the set is high. I'm telling you, bro. You had to be there. Like, I was watching. See, the way they have it set up once again is strictly for the camera shot. The camera shot is coming in from a side angle, directly head on to the ring and to the table. That side angle is not a head-on angle coming from how you put it, a cross section, as far as a cross camera view. It only allows you from the cross camera view coming from the stands into the ring. It only allows the fans to look and see what's going on in the ring. That's how they have it set up. But when it comes down to what you seeing and hearing going on with Snoop and freaking Oscar and all them, you can't see them like that really up close, the way they have it set up from the audience. You know, they have a little privacy to fuck around and do what they're doing. So if a motherfucker wanted to goddamn take out a phone and zoom in and try to get a view of Snoop rolling a blunt or whatever, it ain't gonna happen. Because all they have to do is take the view off the ring and just show the fight while they doing what they doing over there. And Snoop, come back, he lighten up. You don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But to answer your question, I mean, to caveat what you said, Oscar was unhinged, dog. Oscar was motherfucking zooted. Look, Oscar, that's the most. If Oscar would have been doing that shit during his boxing career and had a personality like he did last night, motherfuckers would be loving Oscar. God damn it. Just think if Oscar would have been acting that way when he and Floyd Mayweather fought. Just think if he would have been uplifting and all happy and full of energy, for whatever was in his system. This shit would have been funny. Oh, fuck you, Mayweather. I'm good. Either way it goes, I am who I am, and I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. Let's go back to bigger and better things. Let's go get some bitches. You know what I'm saying? If Oscar had a different personality when he was boxing instead of trying to be the golden boy, more fans would have tuned in to him and then treat him like a square. Because when he was fighting, he acted like a square, bro. We know that. I want to see Virgil Ortiz and Ennis go 12. Problem is, the only guys who can push them to 12 can possibly beat them as well. Solid. You regaining a little points off that gatekeeper shit. That earned you some more recovery points, more so Ortiz than Ennis. Well, we all know out of two new names on the scene. And yes, Ortiz is fairly new, regardless if he fought Maurice Hooker or not. The two big names is on the scene outside of a Crawford, Porter, Thurman, Spence, you know what I'm saying, Garcia, is Ennis and Ortiz. So hell yeah, we want to see that motherfucker. We want to see that fight with Ennis Ortiz. Absolutely, bro. Now, whether it go 12 rounds, I don't know. I think it's gonna go somewhere through the mid rounds. I don't know. But one thing we can say for sure, all right, is that Ennis is not Maurice Hooker. First of all, Ennis is not Maurice Hooker. And, Virgil Ortiz is going to have to understand that if he chooses to keep his gloves up to his face and cut himself up and take that punishment and look the worse for wear, that's what he has to deal with. He's basically saying there was glove burns on his face. So imagine if you keep that high guard against Maurice Hooker, and you look the way you did, imagine the way you're gonna look with Ennis, who's switching stances and throwing punches and bunches and hitting you from all different angles. You're gonna be fucked up. But let's make that fight happen. Fuck it. Let's make that fight happen. Virgil Ortiz versus Jerome Ennis. Let's go. Let's make that fight happen right there. Mitch, if they fought today, I'll take Porter over Ortiz. Porter versus Ennis would be 50-50. Same goes with Thurman. Right now, Ennis looks a little better than Ortiz to me. Both lose to Crawford and Spence. So let's motherfucking moonwalk back through this. You have Porter over Ortiz. And Porter versus Ennis is 50-50. But I don't put Thurman as a 50-50 fight with Ennis, if that's what you're saying. I don't put Thurman as a 50-50 fight with Ennis. I truly don't put, because the reason being is that the longer and longer Thurman stays out the ring and basically going off his previous performance with Manny Pacquiao, you know, it's like with the heavy heart, I cannot fully support Keith Thurman. There used to be one time to sometime to no time. I can't do it. So I cannot put that as a 50-50 fight. Thurman might go in there and get stopped again. I mean, he might get dropped again. You know what I'm saying? And he might get stopped. Who knows? I don't know. Because once again, I do the comparison shit. Motherfucking Jerome Ennis ain't Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao did gas a little bit in the mid rounds against Thurman, but I don't see Jerome Ennis doing that shit, y'all. I don't see Jerome Ennis gassing against Thurman like that. He looked good. But you know, in order for Crawford and Spence to get a hold of that, I don't know, man. Like Errol Spence is talking about moving up to 54 whenever he chooses. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Snoop was an awesome announcer. Yeah, Snoop be setting it off, man. Off to work, WCS. Salute to your grind. Salute to you, Sir Ken. Enjoy your day at work, bro. Be safe out there. Even old Al Burstein was tolerable with his contact high. Funny as shit, man. I agree, man. I'm telling you, people denouncing Triller a little bit because all the shit talking was going on. But dog, how many times have you allowed a real fight to happen, you know, in front of you, but yet you're listening to individuals who's shooting the shit like we standing on the block watching a fight go down and you got different motherfuckers talking shit. I mean, come on, and you might get a little bit extra with, you know, the influence. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they were smoking, but you know, if it's drink or weed, whatever, just them talking shit over there. That shit was hilarious, man. Oscar was out his fucking mind. What the fuck you gonna tell Oscar? You ain't gonna tell him shit, man. Oscar don't give a fuck about what you thought about him. Yeah, I was fucked up. And then Al Bernstein sitting over there, you know, the Hall of Famer. He's sitting over there like, God damn. He's calling up his agent. Excuse me. Can we read in the contract again? What we talking about? You know, waivers. I remember signing a portion of that waiver, but what was the waiver again? And they tell Al the waiver was you may be subjected for anything and everything while on the camera set, i.e., weed, second weed, and thirdly weed. So therefore, a contact high may be imminent for you while on the air. Are you okay with that? Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll sign. Al Bernstein had to sign that shit off. But I think last night he was calling up his agent like, can you read over my waiver again? Just one, because I don't want Triller looking at me any type of way because I'm fucking high and I say the wrong thing. Because it wasn't no motherfucking AC blowing, no filters or nothing like that. Like you can smell that shit. I was trying to go down to damn near to the floor and inhale. I said, yeah, I get that old West Coast kush. Yeah. Anyway, JJ Romano, what's good, man? Sweetie and Ric Flair stole the show. Yes, yes. Ric Flair, man, that's my boy. Like I told y'all before, man, when I was leaving to go to boot camp at 17, I'm walking through Atlanta airport because I was supposed to go to this room. I think back on, I say, how fucked up is that? But anyway, not to get off topic. I'm walking through Atlanta airport. I was dropped off. They said, go to room so-and-so. And I've told this story before. I saw Ric Flair, who was in his prime when he was much more bulkier, younger. He had on a nice ass suit with the gators and shit, whatever he had. He had a big ass Samoan bodyguard walking behind him. And I said, Ric Flair, what up? He turned around, how you doing, buddy? And then he kept walking, the blonde hair flicking back and forth and shit. God damn. I'll say, damn, that's Ric Flair. We didn't even have internet back then, y'all. We didn't even have internet back then. I saw Ric Flair when he was walking, his hair was going back and forth, looking like $1,000,000. I don't know. He might have been going to the damn suite, had some females lined up or something, you know, until his private jet pull up. But yeah, man, that shit sucked, man. They sent me to a motherfucking room with some other zombies before we went to boot camp with a cold ass fucking bologna sandwich with some government cheese. I was like, God damn, this is freaking inhumane. At least give me a microwave. You ain't getting a fucking microwave. You going down to Paris Island, South Carolina. Shut your fucking mouth and sit there. Left hand, left knee, right hand, right knee, head nods straight to the front, mouth shut. Do you understand me? I'm like, man, God damn. Yeah, I understand you. Why you yell? Shut your fucking mouth. You want to go to boot camp or not? I was like, I wanted to use a cell phone. We didn't have mobile phones back then, dog. Look, we didn't have mobile phones. We still had landlines. So in order for me to call home, and I had to go find a phone that was in the airport, a damn user payphone, dog. Bruce Oscar was crashing a weed party. Man, I told you when I saw Oscar, man, when he was walking, I said, God damn, I'm about to get an interview with Oscar. I walked up. I started to close down. This person said, no, not right now. I said, fuck. That's Oscar right there, man. Man, I mean, look, I haven't even been to a Golden Boy fight. I really wanted to interview Oscar De La Hoya. I did. I wanted to interview him, man. Oscar, let's go, USSR. Man, dog, Dion, man, you ain't never lied. Man, shout out to Dion Washington in the building, man. He was keeping me up to date with all the results, man. Real talk, I appreciate you, Dion. Real talk, bro. That's man to man. Appreciate you, bro. Salute. Real talk. Thanks for keeping me updated on the fights. Real talk, man, because I was busy as a motherfucker, man. I ain't gonna lie. Dude in the crowd, ain't no Soviets in the ring. I know, man. Look, a part of me, I was soaking it all in. I mean, I've been to the Mercedes-Benz before, but just to be there for Triller, though, I was just soaking that shit all in. Listen to these cats talk shit. It was hilarious. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have enjoyed that shit a little bit better if I had some drink, or I don't smoke, but if I had something, it would have been better. A lot of shit would have been funnier. You know what I'm saying? That they were saying like that USSR motherfucker Oscar De La Hoya, he kept going back to it, going back to it. Oscar didn't give a fuck that night, dog. I'm telling you, man, if we had that Oscar when he was competing, oh my God. If he wasn't trying to be the good old golden boy, it would have been hilarious. But Oscar came down in the ATL, man, and say, fuck it, I'm here, dog. What you got for me? Oh, okay, cool. Let me hit that. Damn, Snoop. Shit, from the cradle to the motherfucking grave. Shit. Snoop was out there distributing gifts and shit. This motherfucker was distributing gifts to this panel. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker was smoking that cushion. Al Bernstein said, God damn it, I want one of them motherfuckers, but I can't do it on the air because they'll fire me. And Snoop probably told Al, you good, baby. Do you want one or not, baby? I could get you some. You know me. You want one or not, man? We going off air for 3 hours. Just hit that shit. But I ain't got nothing to do with you. Get back on air and you be fucking up the names. Al like, nah, Snoop, I can't jeopardize my job at the end of the day. I can't do it. I can't do it. Alex said WCS Ennis versus Ortiz is a 55-45 fight in my book. Ortiz was getting touched up by Hooker, and Ennis is way more talented than Hooker. So I believe Ennis stops Ortiz in the late rounds. Interesting prediction there, Alex. Interesting prediction. Because I believe it's much more than a 55-45, to be honest. I'm looking at more of a 60-40. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking more so on a heavier side for Ennis' favor. You know? I don't want to be disrespectful because a lot of people putting hype behind Virgil Ortiz. You know, they want to start getting behind Virgil Ortiz like Canelo Alvarez. You know, they trying to build up a following. He's the next best thing. You know, I put it a little bit heavier. Real talk. It might go a little bit higher than 60. The way he looked and how fluent he was, Virgil Ortiz had problems, man. Because look at how Maurice Hooker, when Maurice Hooker got off, he did it in spurts. When Jerome Ennis get off, he gives you a bundle. He bundled that shit. Like when they ask you about your motherfucking cable and shit, do you want a bundle? You want your cell phone, TV? You want all that shit together? He gives you a bundle of shit. He's going to give you the body work. He's going to give you the jab. He's going to give you the two. Man, he's going to give you the hook, uppercut, foot movement. He's going to give you everything. But when he gives you that punch combination, it's going to be precision to it. And he's going to land. He's going to be accurate. His accuracy with Sergey Lipinets was just unfucking believable. I was like, damn, okay, cool. This guy is a freaking marksman today. Jerome Ennis was a marksman against Sergey, but Sergey was a sitting target. I'm just speaking from experience, military shit, gun shit, man. Sergey was a damn sitting target, dog. You should have gotten edible for the show. Nah, I don't really do that shit, bro. When I go cover a fight, I'm not influenced by shit except life. I if I would have did an edible, I probably would have been trying to leap down to the main floor and say, Ross, let's do a hit, bro. Come on, man. Just goddamn hook me up, Ross, man. Did you bring some wings on this motherfucker? You got some hot sauce in that bitch? Come on, Ross, hook me up, dog. Hook me up. You know what I'm saying? I would have been up there asking questions. Man, what the fuck we doing? I got credentials like y'all. Where the after party at? Come on, man. Ross would say, huh? Who this right here? No, I can't imitate Ross shit. Dion said Oscar was trying to sabotage for the zone. No, not at all. And the reason why that's not true, I'll tell you why it's true. Doing my Kevin Hart. Listen, people, I'll tell you why it's true. Because the zone is so motherfucking, they want to keep that shit strictly professional over in the zone. You can't, De La Hoya can't come over to Triller because that's how the vibe is over there at Triller when they on the mic. That's how the vibe is. They're giving you entertainment with the Snoop D-O double G, baby. So therefore, Oscar knew that shit. That's why you had people talking mad shit over there. He can't fuck it up. Oscar, what he did was show people a different side of him outside of the comfort of his own home or private parties. Oscar came on that motherfucker and say, shit, Let me down this ball of water. Here I go. I'm about to go live on air. And he came on there and that water wasn't enough. Oscar started talking about USSR. Oscar, man, I was laughing my ass off. I ain't gonna lie. Oscar had me laughing for the first time ever when it comes to him. I was laughing my ass off with Oscar De La Hoya, man. Like the Golden Boy, man, he was on his shit, man. He was being goofier than the motherfucker last night. You're right, WCS Ennis got a toolbox full of tools. He does, man. I put him way above. I put him above 55-45, man. You know, I don't want to put him 65-35. You know what I'm saying? People might get all upset and shit if I say 70-30. I mean, 70-30. Something like that. People might lose their motherfucking mind and start coming here talking, you hating again. Now you want to hate on Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz was getting touched up by freaking Maurice Hooker. That's no cap. That's no cap. Yeah, Virgil can't switch hit or fight on the back foot. It's a matter of time he get exposed. He got exposed with Maurice Hooker. Romano, he got exposed. Look, understand something about exposure. It can be a little exposure or a lot of exposure. Maurice Hooker exposed that Virgil Ortiz can be touched up. And you can get off a certain way with Virgil Ortiz, just like you said, fighting off the back foot. Do you think that's going to be the case with Jerome Ennis? Possibly. Possibly. We'll have to see if the fight's being made because Mikey Garcia was fighting off the back foot against Sergey Lipinets. Mikey Garcia, y'all. So therefore, Jerome Ennis had Sergey Lipinets fighting different. So I got to give him his credit, man. Like Sergey Lipinets was forcing Mikey to box off the back foot, but Jerome Ennis was right there in his front space, throwing packages on his front door. Pop, 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 pop. Shit. Pac-Man in the building. Shout out to you, bro. What's good? I'm trying to decide there, to be honest, there, Tay. I am exhausted. I'm just up here trying to goddamn have a cool down session. Shit, that shit was motherfucking all day. Somebody else hit me up about it. I might, but I don't have no press credentials to that fight. I just found out. So me showing up to the fight, I don't know if you have any more information. I don't know who I'll talk to you after this or whatever, but me going up to a fight with no press credentials, even though my COVID test is good, I just COVID tested yesterday, so my COVID test is good. I don't know anything else. So, like, for me, just showing up to a fight, I have to understand what I'm going to be able to do. I just not showing up to a fight and walk up to the ringside and they say, okay, that shit ain't happening with COVID down here in Georgia. They want you to be COVID tested, this, that, and the other. You got to have, of course, you got to have credentials. I don't know the guy who's throwing the fight. I don't know none of that. So I'll talk to you about that later on. Aaron Jones, what's good? Oscar was on 1,000. Major Key Boxing in the building. Salute to you. What's good? Can't wait to go to the Triller event in Miami for the TO fight. Yeah, man, that's gonna be live. Triller in Miami. That's gonna be live down there. They really hyping it up. That's why they did this big, to kind of give people a little bit of taste of what's gonna happen in Miami. Because right now, once again, I say this and I say it again. Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos sold the motherfucking mandatory. They sold the mandatory. It's been a while since I've seen someone sell a mandatory like this. How can you how can you initially win a purse bid like that and then make people believe that the fight is worth coming to see? Well, that face-off sold the fight. The face-off gave you physical contact. The face-off gave you trash talking bravado. Everybody's talking about this shit. And then they was on Triller, once again promoting the fight, talking shit again. Now people are really truly interested. Not only that, they know with Triller, when Teofimo Lopez steps into the ring, they might be in a smaller ring. Did y'all see how small? Y'all didn't see how small that ring was, did you? I'm not sure that that ring is going to be the same size in Miami. I doubt it, because that will force Lopez and Kambosos to fight a different fight. It will be more close quarters and somebody's getting stopped. Real talk. Like, you take the ring size of him and Lomachenko, vice what the ring size was of Triller, very significant difference. But what I'm trying to say is, you're going to have Snoop Dogg and goddamn it, listen, you're going to have whoever else is over there in Miami talking that shit. Oh my goodness. You think they were smoking weed down here in the A? You might have strippers dancing down there in South Beach. You might have motherfuckers just doing some shit you ain't never seen on TV. I'm telling you, that's the entertainment value Triller is trying to. That's what they're giving to public, and there's nothing nobody's gonna do about it, because these people have money behind them. They bring in a different entertainment label to boxing. Now, of course, you're gonna have boxing fans that say, "Man, that shit, some of that shit was garbage," and that ain't me. You have to get with their team with that. But what I'm telling you is, a lot of people are tuning in to Triller because we're missing shows already on TV that kind of give you that kicking it, just sitting down talking with your boys. This not even barbershop. It's a touch of barbershop. It's not even really barbershop shit. Like, this is outside of barbershop conversation. Like, this is way more comical type shit that's going on right there. That you was getting a barbershop, in my opinion. This is outside shit. Waiting to go in the club, drinking in the parking lot type shit. Seriously, that's what Triller is giving you with the commentary. They giving you that true raw shit, man. Ain't nobody biting their words, none of that. So just imagine when Teofimo Lopez and Red Catch is in there, all the shit that Snoop's gonna be talking. Hey, I'm telling you, man, they changing the game, man, right in front of your face. Yeah, I heard about that guy Boswell, but I don't know who he is, man. I'm trying to look him up, man. I don't even think I never even, no disrespect to him, I don't even know. I've never been in one of his cars or not. This is Cedric Boswell. Do I know this cat? Was he the cat who threw the boxing match? Was he the cat that threw the boxing match at the Harley Center that day? The last that time Mack Truck was fighting over there too. Was he the same dude? Is that him? Because I can't put a picture on it. No, let me see. Yeah, that might be the same dude. Yeah, that might be the same dude. Yeah, I think so. I think this is the same dude. So I have been to one of his fights, I think. Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll talk, man. I think I know, but I don't know that, Tay. I have to talk with you about that, bro. Yeah. Yeah, now I definitely know. Got it. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. D-Ray in the building. What's good? D-Ray say salute WCS in the chat, fam. What's good with you? Yeah, man. Okay, I got you. Yeah, but y'all stay tuned for that shit, man, because it's a lot of stuff that's popping off, man. That's in the works. If you're in here, Javante Davis and Mario Barrio is gonna be right down here in the dirty, dirty. Yes, sir. Javante Davis coming back. to his second home in the ATL, shouty. And I'm just curious to know how they're gonna, what the fans are gonna be like. What they're gonna, influence the governor. As far as the capacity and everything, we're gonna be able to by then open up, and have a partial capacity. How are they gonna do that? Because the fight I can't see them digressing below the numbers that was done in Texas for Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz fight. Even though that's Texas and they open 100%, dealing with Floyd Mayweather and everything he's trying to accomplish with this PPV and all this, some type of influence is going to happen. That's all I'm saying. Gervonta is coming back down here to contend for his third weight division, his fourth time as a world champion. Absolutely, they're probably going to open that shit up and have a partial capacity. Yeah. Yes, sir. Major key salute. You ain't lying, brother. That T.O. Kambosos fight on June 5th is going to be legit. Triller changing the game. Yes, sir, man. Triller doing their thing, man. The Miami shit is going to be a lot different than the shit here at ATL, though. For real. For real. Like, once again, man, you're gonna have Ross back. Man, I can't even tell you. You're gonna be down there at South Beach. The vibe is gonna be different. People's lives are gonna change, dog. Oscar, if Oscar's anywhere close to Miami on that day, man, I'm saying you might find Oscar De La Hoya sleep on the bench, man. He might be that fucked up, though. I don't know, man. A lot of people's talking about that shit. They talking that more than, the shit coming down here to the ATL. Seriously. That shit is going to be off the chain down there in Florida, man. It's going to be off the chain, bro. When I tell you OTC, old school lingo, that Triller fight with Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos is going to be on a whole nother level. I ain't going to lie. Tank and Barrios down here in the A. Yep. Tank and Barrio going to be down here in the A, man. I'm not sure what area is going to be down here in the A, man. Yeah, man. Oscar's going to be out there doing some shit. He's going to be on the beach butt naked with some females. Talking about, what are you mad at? Oscar be on the beach butt naked, pissing on the beach. I'm the golden boy for a reason. Shit, Oscar, man. Man, them cats were probably up all fucking night down here in the A, man. Real talk. Damn. But people, I got shit to do. I've been goddamn busy than a motherfucker, man. I'm gonna try to post some content periodically. When I get around to it, but I have to check in some stuff, man. Real talk. I gotta check on some stuff right quick. But hey, you know what it is, man. It's been cool chopping it up with you, man. Continue to stay close. On to the next one. Has some big fights coming up. Seriously. Some big dates on the calendar. If you don't know, it's a lot of fights coming up. But you just have to pretty much understand it's going to be a different type of protocol for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be patient, man. Continue to support your boy WCS. Until next time, turn up and tune in. World Combat Sports. I'm out.